Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, with my amazing co-host, Tamika, here to talk about episode 28, 29, 30, and 31, the Casa Amor episodes of Love Island UK. We've been waiting for it. Tamika, how are you, and has it delivered?
I'm good. Not really.
I mean, so after all of the episodes, you're not really?
Not really. No.
I mean, I'm going to have to say that I agree with you, and we will speculate maybe near the end of this recap as to why we're not really that plussed about Casa Amor, because Casa Amor wasn't Casa Amoring at all.
Not at all.
At all. But let's get back to where it all began. So, back at Casa Amor, the girls, they're kind of smitten here, like these new boys are coming in. They're sitting around, they're going around and making the introductions. I didn't write down all the introductions to these guys, but Cody, the 20-year-old, loves a blondie. It's important information, correct?
Why was he given a ticket to the villa?
Maybe his family works for ITV. I don't know. Hello, Fernando. Thank you for being here. Hi, Sophie. Hi, Jessica. CJ. TA. Hello, everyone. I don't know why Cody's in the villa. He's way too young. Even though some of the women are only 22, they're more mature than him as 20.
Like, period. Like, I don't know what that was about.
So you already received the information that Ella knew Uzi, but they did a photo shoot together, and they do immediately state this on the show. So I thought that was interesting. What do you think about Uzi?
I do think, I personally thought that Uzi and Elam were probably the two I would mostly go for, like in looks.
Now, how do you feel though about some people saying that Elam looks like or reminds them of Jeffrey? I think it's kind of funny though. It's kind of like hot Jeffrey, like Jeffrey with like abs.
I think it's how he comes off. But to be fair, I saw pictures of them off of the I think I said it on our last fight. They all needed better haircuts coming into this. The picture of Lockham.
Oh yeah, I was like, "Who's this old man?" And like,
right,
he's kind of fun.
And then when you look at his picture from IG, like the man is fine.
He's fine on the show too, I have to say.
And then he did get better, but like he was way better looking than how like his haircut in the villa. Not fan. Elam, same thing. Like I think that he looks better in outside of the villa. I don't know what Benjamin's haircut was doing. Uzi looks about the same. It's just that he had that pin in his hair.
The bobby pins were killing me.
And I said he probably like wet and twisted his hair, and it was like sticking out, so he like stuck it in there to keep it down. But boo, I don't know what to tell you. No,
you're not a fan.
Not a fan.
We hear though that I think it was Elam that is a masseur as well as a personal trainer, and so that Whitney's gonna have something to say. She's like, "Ella, your neck looks like it's got a knot," and I was just like, "Whitney, you're so funny."
Whitney, what I will tell you that Whitney, that entire conversation was perfection. Like. She's like, men be vampires. Like, I'm like, please, girl.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Teach them.
Exactly. They were both, they're going to go around the circle, and everybody was starting explaining their situation, and they're open or closed, or they're willing to, whatever. Like, they all go around the circle. And they get to Whitney, and she's like, I'm not going to say much because men are shape-shifting. And this is true. These are facts. Absolute
straight facts. I love that girl.
Hi, Dan. So Dan says these episodes have changed who I like and stand anymore. Who I don't like and stand anymore. It's true. I mean, pretty true. I have some things to say for sure as we get through it. Fernando says the amount of producer plant the villa has now. I'm not excited for Gemma 2.0 at all. Boy, yeah, we're getting to that
I
too.
you know that's what's funny. It hasn't really changed who I'm standing. I'm frustrated by a lot of the things that are happening, and I was very perplexed. But I will tell you why I'm perplexed when we get there.
Hi, Divine Me. Hello, everyone. I'm sad. Everyone, how's everyone feeling about the recoupling? We're getting
Mm,
there.
yeah, I'm frustrated. That's what I'm telling you. I'm frustrated.
Me too. Natalie's got some tea on Cody. Is it that he has a girlfriend? I think that's the
He
tea.
has a girlfriend. He's a homophobe, and he bullied people. I listen. He should not have been on this. Who gave him a ticket to Love Island?
Sam thinks the recoupling was better than the actual Casa Amor. I mean, for drama's
Listen,
sake.
no, there's only one thing that was really like dramaful.
There's two.
Mm, two.
There's two.
Okay. But the one thing that people kept hoping their hopes on, I knew was going to play out exactly how it played out today.
Mm-hmm. So TA was disappointed about Casamore. Was so boring at times, but he keeps us going. Thank God. Yes, it does. Definitely. We'll get to this, but Fernando thinks that Whitney and Logan has a shot to win the season. He just needs to behave.
Maddie is waiting for her, guy.
I heard that. I died of laughter. He saw how popular she was and realized that he was an idiot.
Oh, I don't know. Like the stuff that he was saying on that morning after podcast, I kind of believe him.
That he's waiting for Whitney?
Yes, and why?
Because she's popular.
I don't know.
Cody says has a girlfriend told him that he's going on a work trip. Yeah, I did hear this.
I heard that. Yeah.
Dan wants to know if we've seen the family tweet. Sigh.
Yes.
I don't know what infotainment saw in Sammy. What was the tweet? What was the tweet? I don't know. Fernando does not believe Money at all. He's just doing it to save face. Absolutely. I do not think.
I don't know.
Like, I think he just right now likes the fact that she's super popular and didn't realize that, like, she was the prize and the star and it wasn't about him.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. My whole thing is with Maddie. The thing is,
wait, what happened here? Sorry, Dan says the Dammy's tweet.
Oh, I did see Dammy's tweet.
What did he say?
He tried to say I cannot tweeted it. I don't know. It's bad. I don't know if I can say this.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was about Scott and Catherine, and this is my thing, and this is the thing that happened in the recent weeks. He keeps coming after Catherine. He has been coming after Catherine. He is not the only one, though. On the Morning After podcast, they've been coming after Catherine. They've said the same thing. They've said the same thing that others are saying. Scott doesn't like her. Her and Scott are not real. She's boring. She needs to fight more. She can't dress. Dammy said similar stuff. And so at one point he said something about, because when she was getting to know Elam, that to prepare yourself, you're about to get the hate and all that stuff. And her sister was like, "Why do you keep coming after my sister? Stop it." So then between that and her tweets about Ty, because she's like, Ty needs to leave my sister the frick alone, and they, like, a bunch of both of their fans started reporting her account. She had to lock her account. So she wasn't happy with him. Now today, when Scott and thing happened, he's like, "Oh, Scott, if you're thinking the N word with the hard R, we understand," or something like that. and he deleted the tweet and he said, "Oh, that's the last time I can do something with my tweets."
Why would he ever say that? Regardless, like either of them. Okay, well, we're gonna have to unpack that at another day because we got a lot of episodes to get through. But that's really not great. To another fellow person, black person from Ireland, like you'd think that there'd be some sort of like.
That's why her sister's upset. Like you of all people know that Ireland cannot vote for her sister because they could not vote for you. And maybe if they could have voted for you, you and India would have won last year.
I thought it's part of the UK.
No, they cannot vote.
Oh.
They're not allowed to vote. So they could watch the show. They could comment all they want to. They could come on the show. They are not allowed to vote. They can't download the app and vote.
That sucks. Anyways, I'm not. I would be like Catherine's sister. Like that's not great.
Not cool
at all. So Ella's the only one closed off, which we all expected. Everybody else is open to a certain extent. They're the open gang. There's going to be a CASA AMOR little dance party when the Villa boys are trying to zoom into the CASA party. That's what you're talking about with like the clicking of their phones, and they're trying to see if they can see the party over at CASA AMOR. I thought that that was pretty funny.
That was so funny. That was so funny. That's probably where the entertainment like stopped for me at the guys' villa because that was hilarious. But yeah, go ahead.
So Ella tells the girls that she did fancy Uzi. They were the same agency, and like he was somebody that she was interested in before coming into the villa. Catherine is interested in Lokan and Elam. Jess thinks Zach is the fittest. Jess has bad taste. Period.
Oh, don't get me started. Somebody said on Twitter, so yeah, if you're a friend of Jess, you like probably will never have to worry about like her stealing your man because the taste in men is so just like freaking random. Like it's so true.
Like I don't know where she says this, but at one point she's like, yeah, Zach is the fittest out of all the boys, and like I guess like maybe I have to say that people from Essex, I find that what they think is hot is very far from what I think is hot. I've watched a few seasons of The Only Way is Essex, and like the guys that get all the girls there, I'm like, no, hello. Like you're letting this guy have like some attitude about like being hot. Like he's not even close to being good looking. So it may be that their standards are completely different than everybody else's in the world. Whitney likes Uzi and Lokan. Leah likes Uzi and Lokan as well. Katie doesn't really like anyone specifically. I said she thinks someone is scared. What do I mean by that? Do you remember?
I don't know what you meant by that at all. It is a few days ago, so I can't.
It's okay. So Jen says, I'm sorry, but the girls in the UK like people like Zach. I know, it's weird though.
Zachary we're talking about, right?
Yeah, like, Zachary.
Yeah, no, I didn't understand.
I was like, he's the fittest?
I didn't understand.
Like, because remember we were like, how did he get an invite to the CASA AMOR bombshell?
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's for people like Jess.
If I had to range them, it was like...
I think that he's even lower than Youngin, Cody.
Yeah. Because look-wise, Cody wasn't bad. It was just, he's too young. And, like, then you hear all the stuff off of social media, like, oh, get him out of here. But looks-wise, he was, I mean, cute kid. Cute kid.
Yeah, kid. Yeah. Young adult.
He's younger than my daughter, guys. That's, like, crazy.
I mean, I have items of clothing that are older than him. My relationship with my best friend is longer than he's been born.
Right.
alive. So Sammy gets a text, and they're all the guys are supposed to be packing bags for the girls. Zach packs a dog toy to give to Katie. I was like, eye roll. And they're not going to pack anything sexy at all for the girls. Jess and Zach, she tells him that she's not closed off. This is Zachary. And she says that you caught my eye. And so they're flirting. They're seemingly getting along. I was like, I mean, I kind of was like, Jess, maybe you should pick this person. Like, because I don't think that Sammy's into you. And, like, I would, like, I just get off the Sammy train. But
yeah, I don't. I think she should have picked Zachary too. To be fair, the chemistry wasn't bad. I don't think like her saying he's the cutest was far, but I didn't think their conversations were bad, and they were like cuddling the same night. So it was weird.
Dan says, I feel like the producers bring people that are cast types, not random hot people. Bring random hot people.
But that's the thing. I feel like with the guys, it was just like types. But with the girls, they I feel like they sent in random hot people because the girls were hot. Like
They're all pretty.
Gabby, Abby. I mean, they were all cute, like really sexy
cute
girls. Yeah, like I just feel like with the guys, they do this every year. They just like, oh, so we're gonna bring in a black guy for her. We're gonna bring in this for that person, and it's like, no, send in really hot guys to like really tempt them, so that you get like this. It felt like I'm not seeing it that some of the like Ella choosing Uzi, I get because to me, he's tall. He's really cute. He has light eyes. He's fit. Like, I get it, right? Like, some of the rest of them, I'm just like, why are you sending a 20-year-old baby into the villa?
When there's someone 27 that's in
right. There. Like Katie's head could have possibly be turned if you had sent in somebody, like, hot, like, and older. That wasn't Uzi. Because you literally sent in Uzi for Ella. Like, it's not fair.
Exactly. So Jessica thinks that Jess has lost cause. So sad, but doesn't really care. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh,
I care, but I agree. I'm at the point, Jessica, that I can't care anymore.
So Logan and Whitley have a conversation, and she's not into settling. And when she says that, he thought that she meant she wasn't into settling down, and so he was a little bit taken aback. But she clarifies it, like, no, I'm not settling. Like I've been in a relationship because I want a really like to be with somebody great. Was it her that said not a relationship? Or she never said she didn't live with somebody, or vacation. But
no, Catherine has said that she has not been in a relationship.
Okay, sorry, I missed it.
Because I also think that what Catherine says, her conversation with Ellen was actually really eye-opening to how she was moving. But keep it going.
So I like the fact though that Locan is not into having like one night stand. He does ask if she wants to share a bed with him, and she's like, yeah, why not? Like gives him a handshake. But I think that Locan is really cute, a lot cuter than I was giving him credit for. When I saw his picture, I was like, you're only 28, you look 40. Like, yeah. Not that like, I mean, I know what 40 is, and I don't think it's old, but like he doesn't look 28. And so he looks,
like I said, I saw his IG picture, and the man is fine. I don't understand why he didn't come in with that haircut, because the haircut with the thing on, he looks 40. The other haircut, he looks like almost 30, but not yet 30. Fine.
Well, maybe he wasn't allowed to cut his hair from what casting. You know what I mean? Like he has to go and look exactly like this.
Annoying.
So Jess and Zachary talk, and he asked if we want to share a bed, and it was a nice and easy conversation according to Jess. It was fine, like whatever, boring.
Yeah.
So Ella and Uzi have a convo, and she basically says that she's forgotten about her life back home, and you know, he was really just gassed and super excited that she was there and in the villa. And there's a lot of flirtation that was happening. She was like, you know, when we were on that photo shoot, you were asking when we were going to go on a date. And he's like, relax, man. And like, I don't know, there was banter, there was flirting.
Yeah.
And she does say to him that though that the other girls were thinking that he was a bit shy, and she was kind of leaning to him being like, hey, you should go and talk to some of the other girls because like you're a bit shy. And I think it was because she was still closed off to the idea of even entertaining him at all in
Hmm.
that way.
Yeah.
And she tells him, she's like, you are the most attractive and the tallest, go chat to the girls. But then she's like, you can't sleep in my bed. I don't know if that was like a joke when she said that, but she did say that.
Yeah. Now, people are taking the way he's acting as he is not into Ella.
I think he's a Della. Why would they think that?
They think he's into Leah, and
I don't see that at all.
I'm gonna tell you, I think it's actually totally the opposite. I think that he was so into Ella, but because of what was going on with her and Ty, he did not want a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's into Ella. I don't know if he's into. I don't remember being like, ooh, I think Uzi likes Leah. I don't remember thinking that. So we'll see, maybe,
Hmm.
um, how things go as we talk to these episodes. But I don't remember even having that thought.
Okay.
So then we go back to the villa, and Ty is talking about how like men that go for Ella are going to be like me. They aren't going to care. So like he has a lot of like attitude and like talking about like like the guys that are going to go for Ella are going to be like him. And so to me at this point, I was thinking like he's hoping that there's going to be somebody for him. So Zach though wishes that he had 1 or 2 more days with Katie so they could have really solidified something, but their relationship was a bit too new. Everybody's going to bed, and I had to roll my eyes. You probably did as well when Montel was wearing Leah's sleeping mask.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Leah and Montel can go.
Yeah, of course they can go.
They can go. Like everything between the two of them, ooh, child. Like I need them to go. And I thought it was just me, but even Chloe from a couple seasons ago said it. They're like, she's like, Leah could go. Somebody on TikTok, he was like, I need Leah to get in a van with the Casa Amor girls, and then Montel can meet her at the door. And I was like, exactly.
So Cody chats with Katie, and they decide that they're going to share her bed. I was just like, that's just so off. Like 27 and 20, like. Ugh. Elam chats with Catherine about Scott, and he how Elam vibes is off connection. Like he says that she's a vibe, and he wants to share a bed with her, and so I think that she reciprocates that and says yes. They all get their bags. Ella is actually really impressed that Ty packed her bag quite well, giving her like, a bonnet and a headband, all that stuff. And so she was happy with her stuff that she got from Ty. So then in the bed, I was asking, is Zach and Jess already cuddling? Were they cuddling already?
They were already cuddling.
Which
They
is
were
fine.
already cuddling.
But I was like, okay, cuddle, like get it. I'm like, she said that he was the fittest. I was hoping that like she was gonna bring him back.
Yep.
In the morning, the guys didn't like how excited the girls sounded when they're over at Casa Amor. And I'm like, I don't know. Do you think that maybe this would have worked better if the guys went away?
No. And you know why it wouldn't have worked? Because Molly was there.
Well, we know that's the whole reason why the whole thing. Anyways, okay, we're gonna get to it. So the Casa Villa girls. What I wrote now, Katie. Was Katie pissing me off there?
Is it when she was telling them better to ask for forgiveness because she was pushing them hard.
Well, Leah was wishing that Montel was there, and I wrote now Katie, and I was probably like annoyed with something that she was saying.
Oh, it must have been something to do with Zach, and I don't even remember.
So Jess says that that Ty is going to take any opportunity to flirt. Maybe Katie was saying that like Ty was she was probably saying something, and I didn't agree with her opinion. But she does do that a few times, which is really interesting.
Yeah, she did it a lot. And I was just like, I don't understand. This girl just came in. She don't know y'all like that. Why are you taking her advice?
I know. So we do get introduced to the Casa girl, well, the Villa new girls, and so that is Abby, Tink, Amber, Gabby, Danielle, and Molly. Now, for whatever reason, I couldn't really remember these women's names over 4 episodes. I was like, who's who? And I don't know if it's because in the UK people have similar names that are not the similar names that I have that I'm used to. Like, I don't know anybody named Gabby. I don't know anybody named Abby. I don't know anybody named Amber. Actually, maybe like a couple people named Amber, but like they're not my friends. I just feel
I
like all the
know
names are so
Gabby. I
similar.
know Gabby.
I know Gabby, but I didn't know who Gabby was until late. I thought Gabby was Abby, and then like
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean? Like I just kept on
Yeah.
messing up whose name was
Who's who?
who.
Okay, yeah. So
And I guess
I get
Danielle,
it.
I don't think of Danielle as a Danielle, so then I was like, who's Danielle? But then she wasn't getting any airtime either, so I was just like, I couldn't keep these girls on track for whatever reason. It was quite
Yes.
short.
So Danielle was a little easy for me. Um, like her name is easy, and she was the only black girl. Um, Amber,
Gabby's not black.
Gabby looks biracial. Um, and Amber, I just her name never stuck to me, and also again another baby who was sent into the villa, but and like why? Um, I know, and I yeah no, just like Abby, I didn't even remember her name until she and Mitch had a conversation, and the only reason why I knew her name was because when I got the press release and they had a whole conversation, I was like, oh,
I know, like a lot of the times I just put like blonde girl or
yeah,
Ella 2.0
yeah,
until like they're
oh my
being used in
gosh,
the stream, and I would just write their name back down. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like,
yeah,
like yeah. Anyways, so we got introduced to these new Villa girls,
hmm
and when they come in, they kind of walk into the villa, and the guys are probably Mitch saying like, "Oh, that girl looks like Molly. That girl looks like Molly," and I had to say I was so annoyed
annoyed,
seeing her walk in. Like I know that
annoyed.
we already knew that she was coming. We already knew that like that was the big twist that the producers want. But like when she got there and just being like hugging everybody and saying to Zach like, "Oh, I need to talk to you," and I was like, way to ruin Casa Amor, like big time. I was really disappointed. So Jack is obviously shook. Molly is pissed, and I'm like, "So you're gonna come back pissed? Like I don't know. Like this isn't. Is this entertaining?"
It was not entertaining to
Yeah.
me. I couldn't find anybody who felt like it was entertaining. What I kept seeing was why Molly? Why? I feel sorry for Zach. People felt sorry for Zach. People felt sorry for the boys that Molly came in. Like nobody was happy except for a few people who were happy and like, oh my god, you guys gotta wait. It's gonna be so much drama with them and Katie. I'm sorry? What brought you to that conclusion?
I have no idea. So Elam and Catherine over at Casa Amor are chatting, and he wants to get to know more about her and Scott. She seems to be really comfortable with him and seems to be opening up to him. So they do have a decent conversation, I would say. Uzi and Ella talk, and you know, if it was in the beginning, he asked her like, "Who would you have chosen between me and Ty?" And
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't know. I mean, I think like the thing is with Ella, she knew both of them outside of Casa Amor.
Yeah,
So I don't know what she would have actually done
I don't
because
either.
Ty, I think she's into a bit of the chase and a little bit of the game and knowing that she's able to kind of lock down Ty.
Yeah,
But like she does seem to have a good connection and vibe with Uzi. And so you don't think so?
guys, I never seen Ellen happier. The girl had a smile on her face the entire casa. She was so calm and collected,
Yeah.
and like Like there, you did not see Ella's
She might
pissed
be addicted
face.
to the toxic tie, but
Yeah.
like I think better for her definitely is going to be Uzi. So hopefully she would have chosen him if they were both there in the very beginning, you know.
Yeah.
So the new girls are chatting about the boys, and they think that Zach is fit. So, I mean, I think Zach is a good-looking guy, but like, how can you really be that open with his ex that just got ripped out away from him is just sitting right beside you? Like, it's not going to be that authentic, and you can't be fully yourselves, in my opinion.
Not at all.
So Zach calls Molly to go chat with her at the fire pit, and he said he looks at Katie and Whit the same way. What did I mean by that?
Repeat.
He looks at Katie and Whitney the same way.
Oh, probably that they're.
Oh no! Molly said this. Maybe in like that she didn't feel special anymore because he looked at some point he looked at Molly and Katie the same way. Maybe before they kissed or like when he was trying to chat them up. Maybe it was the same look that he gave to Molly. But he says that he doesn't want to waste their second chance. I don't know how it happened, but she ended up getting up and walking away. Why did that happen? He's overwhelmed with emotion.
It just was so dumb and anticlimactical, and just like we knew exactly what was going to happen. She's acting so hurt, and I'm like, girl, what did you expect him to do? Except for you're saying basically that he should have left with you. That's all this comes down to. Is Zach should have left with Molly when she got dumped.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way she's going on, and then what subsequently happens after this, is that he should have just left with Molly. And I'm telling you guys right now, if there's a chance, dump them both.
That's no way that's happening. Oh, okay, Jessica says Molly walked away because she wanted a moment. Right. Eye roll is right. Okay, so that was the end of episode 28. What do we want to hashtag this episode?
Over it.
Hashtag over Molly Amor, Molly
Island.
Over Molly Island. Yeah, I'm over Molly Island. Like, man, they just have such bad taste. Like,
oh my god. The craziest thing is this show was on track.
Way to ruin a good season.
Like, can you imagine if she wasn't there, how CASA AMOR would have moved? Even if we know that the guys would have probably still not like done too much, because it felt like with this set of guys they were trying to like do what they could. But I feel like even the conversations that they were having were so tame going forward. Like there was nothing, and then we didn't even get Zach getting to move mad. Like it was. It ruined it. It ruined it.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. So I'm just looking at. So you just sent me some tweets. So I'm just looking at.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I got a little sidetracked. Let's just take a little quick peek at what she sent me.
Yeah, I'd be multitasking. Sorry, my bad.
Oh no, it's totally fine. But I just like I got caught up in this look. Yeah, baby. I mean, he loves the bobby pins though.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming that they're still there.
Yeah.
He is so cute.
He is. He is so cute. But Lachlan's picture is the one for me to be like. I was like, why didn't he come with this haircut?
Okay, let's see. Like he looks biracial as well, actually.
Yeah.
He's
cute. Medi said that he comes from a mixed household as well. He was saying.
Oh, now he's claiming his blackness. Get out of here.
I don't know what he is, but he was saying that anyway. And Ellen, I thought looked good.
He looks cute. He looks cute here for sure.
Yeah, a better haircut to me because I feel like his haircut wasn't good either.
I mean, the Villa Boys are villing. Like,
I felt like those were the top 3 Villa Boys, And
Yeah.
now they're all in the villa. I mean, Casa Boys, and now they're all in the villa. So I'm kind of happy for it.
I mean, that's true. They
Yeah,
picked well. They picked
yeah,
well. The two that I
yeah,
did not find to be attractive at all did not make it in. So
yeah.
we success. The
Success.
girls did it right.
Yeah.
Definitely, the girls did it right. All right. So what are these hashtags? So over Molly Island and way to ruin a good season are hashtags for episode 28. Dang. All right, episode 29. I wrote Ty chats with Ella lookalike Gabby.
Ella 2.0.
Gabby, we see Gabby go and talk to Sammy. Then Ty gets a text, and Catherine gets a text, and they're going to be playing the raunchy races. So this is pretty much a staple for Love Island when Casa Amor is happening, where the villa and Casa Amor are competing for a party. And so I think I wrote this down correctly, but it doesn't really matter if I didn't. They have to each of the couples have to go into different sex positions.
Yeah.
And the villa, so the boys won.
Yeah.
The tallest girl has to lick the neck of somebody that you like or attracted to. So Ella licks the neck of Uzi, and Gabby licks the neck of Scott. The villa wins again.
And Ty starts fuming from there.
But like, just because she's tall, she knows she's licking somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So the most, was this another tallest one? Oh, most tattoos is, and so you're supposed to, but the person with those tattoos is supposed to, I guess, kiss somebody that they fancy. So Elam has the most tattoos apparently, and he kisses Kat, or Catherine, and Tyreek kisses Ting. I mean, I like Tyreek and Ella together, but Ting is so freaking pretty. Like, I could see Tyreek and Ting together, you know?
Yeah, she was so cute. I'm wondering now, does Catherine like men with tattoos? Because she likes Zach, he had tattoos, and Ellen. I don't know. I'm not in it.
Maybe. Whoever has the last name in the alphabet has to twerk on somebody. This was that the moment when Whitney twerks on.
Yeah, twerks on Uzi.
And then like they're like, Whitney, twerk, and so she's like twerking for them.
Yes. That was so funny. He was right there. He was right there. It was like perfect position.
I like. Who Ting twerked on the other side? Was it Ting?
I don't even know.
I put Ting and I didn't write anything else.
Her name is Ting because I know somebody's going to say it.
I keep on writing Ting because of like Jamaican.
I know.
Ting.
I don't want people think we're calling her the thing.
Well, I'm not calling her Ting, but like I am calling her Ting, like the drink, the orange. Like I used to have that in Jamaica when I was a kid. It's like an orange juice, like beverage, and so it just keeps on coming out of my mouth.
I know exactly what you meant, but I don't want them coming for us.
Oh right. Oh, I remember this. Yes, Tink. Sorry, twerked on Montel, and he looked like he pushed her off at the end. Yeah, like he was really trying to be serious about Leah. Whatever. So annoying. Just like enjoy the damn twerk. The brunette boy with a blonde girl. So Zachary and Jess and Mitch, and I didn't write who Mitch was with.
I don't know who Mitch ended up with.
Probably if it was a blonde girl, it was probably Abby. There's only one blonde girl there.
Because it was only two blonde girls, right? Because it's just Molly and her, right? Is Molly blonde?
Oh, Molly's blonde.
Yes. Don't worry, we never have to talk about her because I literally ignored her presence. Notice how during the recoupling, only one person was like, and that's because she was sitting right for her. Nobody was paying any attention to that girl.
Well, maybe the producers realized that this twist is a flop and that they're not trying to focus on her as much as they wanted to because, like, they probably realized that the fans are not happy about this.
Oh, I'm telling you, they're not happy.
So the last two were won by the Casa Amor girls. Um, born in June, so Kat had to kiss Zach. Why did she kiss Zach though? Just because he's close?
I think so.
And then somebody kissed Molly. I don't know. I don't know what I wrote down. Then somebody had to suck toes. So Sammy sucked Gabby's toes,
I
and
think it would
Cody's.
have to be Zach that kissed Molly because I think he's born in June, right? He was
Zach is born in June. So is Mitch.
Mitch, yeah. And since he was sitting right there, I think that's why he did. Because then I think him and Mitch was like, "Oh, it could have been me," and he was like, "I was right there," something like that.
I don't. I remember this should have been. You could have done something. So yeah, you walked all the way across or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cody sucked Jess's toes. How did you feel about the
Oh,
toe
I made
sucking?
sure not to watch that. Oh, gross.
So the winners are the main villa, and I'm like, they didn't really
Boo.
show us that many to make me see that, but whatever. So the main villa wins, and everybody jumps in the pool.
Boo.
So for the main villa, now we see everybody getting ready. Tink is vibing Montel. I think that they would actually look good together.
Yeah. I'm kind of annoyed he didn't pick her, to be honest.
Jessica wants to know what's up with the show and feet.
I don't know. Like, it was one thing when it was like, who is it, Luca, who was into feet. Like, it's one thing if the guy is into feet, but like, if there's not that fetish going on, we don't need it. We don't, and I'm not trying to kink shame, guys. I'm just saying that, no, we don't need it. Like, y'all could say it happened, like, off camera.
So I would mention Blondie. I have a conversation that I later wrote in Abby. She does mention this. So like Mitch, like you've kind of bounced around from every new girl to new girl to new girl. And he kind of saves it by saying like he's been patiently waiting for somebody that he really connects with. So I mean, the point of the show is to stay in the villa and find a connection. And so it does make sense to try to get with the new person that's on the show, which is kind of what you're doing, Abby, right?
Yeah.
It's just your first bounce.
Pretty much.
Sammy apparently wants to share a bed with Tink. So, right? Was it Tink? Because then I remember later on in the next episode, Tink wasn't even in the picture.
Yeah, it was weird. Sammy went from Tink to Gabby and Amber. He was hopping.
Amber chats with Ty, and we learn that her dad played for Chelsea, and Ty knows who her dad is, Dennis White, and she says that she looks like him, and she looks like she was like not happy that he said that, but she does actually.
He does? Okay,
A
I
little
didn't
bit.
even think to look. So
Hold on, I can find it for you. Like a little bit. Let's see his Instagram. His Instagram will be. I need a good. Okay, here's. I think her parents. So let's see. Like she definitely looks like an exact splice of her parents.
wow.
Don't you think she looks like an exact mix of her parents?
Oh yeah.
Like if you just like slide their heads in for a morph, it's like her, but younger, obviously.
That's too funny.
So, Ty though he wasn't flirting. He definitely was. He was kind of closed off with his conversation with Amber, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Zach and Molly, had a chat. And he wants to go back to how they were, and she wants to see it and feel it, and reassure it, and he's gonna have to earn that back. And she's like, and she says, at least I didn't reject you, because he tried to kiss her, and she's like, you can cheek me. I was like,
she saw that when Katie tried to kiss him, it turned him on, that she rejected, and so she tried to do the same thing, and she thought she ate, but she didn't.
as you would do.
I need
So
them to stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
they're gonna probably last longer than Davide and Ekansu.
Oh, Jesus.
You know it. So Casa Amor, over at Casa Amor, Katie and Uzi are having a conversation, and Katie says that he's quite reserved. I'm like, Katie, you're quite reserved. Do we know what Uzi's birthday is yet?
No, I need to find birthdays because somebody was asking me about Ellum for Catherine because they're like her and Scott, like astrology match made.
Wait, is Scott a Taurus?
Yes.
Oh, Taurus and Cancer are so good together. They are a match made in heaven, for sure. Okay, find out. Let's see if we can. If you guys know in the chat, if you know, I don't think we have lock-ins because we almost had it, but they didn't air it in the most recent episode. I was really annoyed by that. Yeah, I want all the new boys, minus Zachary and Cody.
Oh wait, his birthday is March 14th, 2001.
Who is he?
Ella.
Okay, so Pisces okay.
Pisces is okay, yeah.
Water.
Still water. Water.
Water will work.
Yes. They'll still move.
So Catherine and Elam have a conversation, and you know, he knows what he wants. And this is, I think, the conversation that you're talking about that you thought was eye-opening. He says that he broke up with someone 8 or 9 months ago, and Catherine says that she's never been in a relationship. Yeah. But she does feel like he compliments her. So what did this show you about her?
So what she said was she usually didn't commit because she was afraid to go there because she was worried about like it not working out. And I was like, oh, I see. Like she, no matter what, she was always going to be afraid to commit to Scott. Mm-hmm. She's never committed.
Well, and I think also I think she's probably scared because of like look at how people are treating her outside the villa. Yeah. She doesn't even know yet. So maybe this is something that she's used to, like that it happens, and she probably just is like doesn't want to make the wrong decision to like have to break up with somebody, or doesn't know if like doesn't want to put all her eggs in one basket because like a lot of times people don't actually really like her. You know what I mean? Like because she's kind of getting a little bit this now. People just immediately saying like, oh, he's not that into you. So like if she's never felt the trust of someone being in a relationship with someone, it's going to be hard for her to make that commitment. Absolutely. Yeah, but he does compliment her, she says, and so that's probably the waterness is that they have an emotional compatibility. Mm-hmm. Did we find out what Loken's birthday is or no?
I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Because Loken and Leah have a conversation, and he does want to get to know her, and she says that he has golden retriever energy, and I was like, nah. Mm-hmm. I don't see that.
I didn't see that. I was like, when they were having this conversation, I was like, what are you going on about? I don't see that.
No, I don't see that at all. I thought Scott was Capricorn. His birthday on Wikipedia says January 9th. Oh. Are you sure that's this Scott and not the other Scott? Love Island.
Didn't they do a chart on Love Island's IG page? Let me check.
I don't know if it has all of them now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if Scott was on there.
What's this new Scott's name? No, that's Scott Thomas from season 2.
Vander something. Van Hauser. And...
Oh, okay, Vander Slee. Let's see. I mean, that's also good with, well, if they're going to be opposites, they can work really well. Okay, actually, let's just look at his, yeah, he's January 9th, so Scott is, this is his Wikipedia for playing football, which will be more accurate than anything else
Oh,
said.
okay. So then, yeah, then that's yep.
So yeah, January 9th, 2001. Uh yeah, he's 6'1". Yeah. So yeah, he is definitely a Capricorn. What's Uzi's? So Uzi would probably have a page too.
Hmm.
Uzi football.
Oh, it was Andre who's the Taurus.
Oh. Never mind.
Hmm.
Uzi, Love Island. I know his damn birthday. Oh, okay. Uzi is a football player from Edinburgh. He was born on August 25th. Okay, so he's a Virgo. And Ella's a Taurus?
Taurus. Hmm.
That's going to work better than Taurus and friggin'
And
Aries, man.
Barry, yeah.
If that
Mm,
is correct.
yeah. He's
That's
going.
why she feels safe and
I
grounded
was
with
going to
him.
say he's going to continue to make her feel safe, and also that is why he is so slow moving. Because if it's not perfection, like if he had no idea it was, if he had an idea that it was possible that it would not work out at all, he was never going to open up to her at all, at all, at all.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See, I'm wondering. Okay, but no, we'll get to it. I'll have
Yeah.
this later. So Jess and Cody have a chat. Like, why is Cody here? I don't know. He asked her who she wants to share a bed with, and I guess she's going to share a bed with him. Okay, Cody, shoot your shot. Oh, Jessica says here that Catherine is scared and explains it all multiple levels. Scott is white. She's never been in a relationship. The boy's opinion of comfortability being with Elam because he's probably similar to her past. Well, and she also probably feels a little bit safer being with a black guy than
Yeah.
being with a white guy that everybody's saying is not that into her.
Right,
That,
because she
like,
already did that. She already let Zach choose her, and he pied her off, and she literally had nothing in her head that made her think that Scott was going to actually stay true. Because first of all, the
her
guy
first
that,
experience with Scott. It
yeah,
was with Zach, and he said
yeah,
sucked.
yeah,
Big time. Big time sucked. So Scott and Gabby have a conversation, and she's the only one that could turn her head.
his head. It's his head, because he said she was the only one he
I was
would
wondering
be.
if it was backwards though. Maybe it was like, yeah, I guess that would have to be that way.
Yeah,
Really, you think so? Does Scott like black girls,
sounds like it.
or is he just saying that to her right now?
I don't know, because I want to know the way he went, the conversation he and Gabby had at the recoupling today. It kind of felt like, so Scott, did you not choose Gabby just to prove a point? Like, because it kind of felt like that based on what he said to her.
I don't know, but they're going to be sharing a bed, and I have so many things to say about Scott too. Coming up. So Gabby wants to share a bed with Sammy, but he knows that he already said yes, he's sharing a bed with Tink. And so that's why I don't understand the next episode where Tink is out of the picture
I don't know.
for Sammy's
I
bed.
I have absolutely no idea. Because
Um,
even during our last podcast, I said I think Tink and Sammy would have been a good match.
I do. I'm wondering. Okay, I'll think of that later. So Whitney and Logan talk, and she's like, "Do you want a baddie or do you want a lady? I can cook, I can clean." I'm like, and she's like, "Not the Cardi song, not the Cardi song." That was the first thing that I thought when she said that. And I was like, "I tell you how to get that ring." Um, I like though I just like her. I wish that Logan was the OG boy instead, because I think that if he did connect with Whitney in the beginning, like, it would have just been such a nicer connection for him. Like, obviously it was entertaining to a certain extent to like have just be so frustrated with everything that Medi was doing. But
Mhm.
like, if we're just looking at her having a connection with someone nice and getting to know somebody that would have been kind to her, like,
Mhm.
I would have liked to see this have a little more time.
And then have Medi tempt her in Casa.
I don't know if Medi's a bombshell though,
No,
right?
he would have got dumped.
For sure. He is definitely not a bombshell, and he better stop waiting for her. Uzi and Ella talking, and her head is scrambled. His head is scrambled. Everybody's head is scrambled. Oh,
Like you can literally see it.
I'm gonna remember this later. I'm gonna star that comment because it's good. Oh, do you know what? Okay, so Mary's saying that Scott liked Ella, so it's not surprised that he liked Gabby.
Yeah, no, I do remember him saying that. I do think that he tends to lean towards women of color, which I'm fine with. I have no problem with. Like I don't know why people think that women of color is impossible when there are a lot of white men married to women of all sorts of colors. Black women, Asian women, like I wish people would stop acting like it's impossible. And actually, it's usually the opposite. They usually come in not liking them, and it does not make sense to try to couple up with them because you're never going to win the game because no black woman has won the game. So I don't understand why people make this distinction at all.
Because they want to hate. I don't know, like, or want to, like, not to hate, but to make it seem as though they're being supportive. But they're actually not. So the girls have a chat with Ella, and she's just really confused because she does really like Ty, and she likes where things are going with Ty, but she had this interest in Uzi before she came into the villa, and so she's taking her old feelings and bringing, like, it's bringing in other stuff that Ty can't really compete with necessarily because it's like it's a connection that already had happened before she had a connection in the villa with Ty. So
Yeah.
I understand why she's confused.
Listen, the producers, they might not have done anything right, but they produced it with this Uzi Ella match. Because only a guy that Ella had a encounter with prior to this show that she also was attracted to, that was probably one of the fittest guys to walk into Casa Amor, was going to turn her head.
Yeah. They picked the right one. The
Yeah.
only one.
Yeah.
Literally the only one.
Yeah.
They did good for
They
that.
did good.
So they're all getting ready for bed, and Ty is missing Ella heavy. He's playing it off too much, I think.
I thought he was putting it on, and I think it was put on even worse because Molly was there. Because you heard him say, "Molly, make sure when the girls come back, you
Yeah,
tell them."
episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Loka and Leah are talking, or sharing a bed. Elam and Kat, Ella and Uzi, and they are cuddling a little bit. Jess and Cody, Ben and who's Ben? Oh my God, Ben and Katie. Okay.
Yeah.
Whitney and Zach, which I was like, okay. Why wasn't Whitney with? Who was with Logan?
Somebody else was with Logan, and it was just a weird. So this.
Oh,
was
Leah. Right. That's what
Yeah,
people were
and so
thinking.
this was the point where I was like, so does Logan actually like Whitney or not, or does Whitney like Logan? Because I was so confused, like why was he not sharing a bed with her still? And then it's like then the next episode they were fine again, and I don't again this entire Casa Amor between the Whitney and Logan and the Catherine and Ellen, I felt like I was missing something. Like every time people would have conversations and stuff would happen, I felt like I was missing something. Like with Catherine and Ellen, it was the way the girls were just insistent on pushing her. He's so your type. Why? Because they're both black? Like because I did not see the chemistry. I don't see the chemistry. I'm going to tell you the truth. I still don't.
With who?
Ellen and Catherine.
Right. Well, okay. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Whitney though is sharing the bed with Zach. So maybe the conversations were out of order, or maybe like Leah had already asked Logan,
Mhm.
or or like what I mean. Like maybe it's just
Mhm.
we didn't see everything in proper order to understand why that those pairings went up.
Yeah.
Um, so in the other side of things, Zachariah's with I think Molly. Gabby was with Scott. Danielle was with Montel. Tink was with Sammy, and Mitch was with Abby.
Mhm.
And I wrote down snogging. So I guess Mitch and Abby were snogging in
Mitch and
bed.
Abby were making out from that night on.
So in the morning, we hear that Mitch was lip syncing, and was it good? And he's into it. Uzi goes to bake Ella a coffee, and so I think Ella enjoyed that.
Mhm.
The cast of girls, they all thought that Kat thought a kiss may happen. Oh, and this is where the girls were kind of championing her and Elam, and I think it was because of because they're both black. I think you're right.
Because it didn't make sense to me, and this is the other thing that kind of frustrated me. We kept seeing Katie, Ella, and Jess's opinion about the Scott Catherine situation and the Ella Catherine situation. We very rarely saw Whitney. Very rarely saw Whitney, and it frustrated me to no end because then the stuff that they kept saying about her and Scott, I was like, I missed something. What is it that I'm missing? Because the way these girls are going on and on about her and Ellum, and her, and like all of a sudden speaking negatively about Scott, and I'm not saying it's not wrong. I'm saying I felt I missed something.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree that I didn't know why they were. I'm wondering if it's because they also agree that maybe Scott isn't that into her, and
Hmm.
wanted to make sure that she didn't come back alone if they felt that he was going to pull a Zachariah. So
Right.
maybe that's why they're just kind of like, no, like he's so good to you, and like he's mature, and like you like him, blah 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 blah. Like
Yeah.
maybe it was just so that they're saving her from getting hurt potentially again.
Yeah. Now on the flip side, I don't like Ellum. I felt like he was sticking it on her. He felt
Yeah,
like it
I
felt
wouldn't
very
be
car salesman to me. It didn't
seem
feel
genuine.
it
No.
didn't feel genuine. And I'm only saying this because I've seen it before. It felt like somebody who wanted her or wanted something from her rather than was in it to build something with her, and that's what I kept getting. And I've seen it before. I saw it with Charlie on season 3. I saw it with what's his name,
US.
Becky last season. um Martin, I won't even go there. You didn't watch it, but Martin didn't even do anything, and I feel like the producers made Tanya pick Martin. But um, even with just it just didn't feel like somebody who, like, oh, be yourself. Like, do you know who he reminded me of? And somebody else said it, and I thought it was just me. And I know you're probably gonna like, oh no, it like he reminded me of Monty from BB 24, and I thought it was just me. And somebody
Mm.
else said it, and it was like, I was like,
Misogyny, like that vibes.
yes, yeah, like, oh, be yourself. I'm here. Oh, like, open up. Like, it's like, oh my god,
Mm.
no, not again, not again, not.
I could actually no, I know what you're saying. So the kind of vibe that they're getting from him is that he's telling her how to be a woman, and that he knows best because he's a masculine man, and he's showing up how he's supposed to show up, and so
Mhm,
now she needs to show up how she's supposed to show up.
mhm,
And maybe she feels like because she's not that experienced in a relationship, that this is the way that she's supposed to be spoken to or treated.
yeah,
And because he's saying all these things, it means like, oh, he must be more mature than I am, and so no, maybe I do. Maybe that means that he does really like she. It's maybe it's confusing her.
yeah.
So Jessica doesn't trust any of the girls when it comes to Scott and Catherine other than Whitney. None of the girls have hung out with them as a couple other than Whitney. They never show Whitney's opinion.
At all.
It is very sus, I would have to say. Over with the Villa Boys. You hear Ty laying it on thick again, being like, none of these girls are Ella. I'm like, we get it, Ty. You're going to prove that you really, really like Ella. Did he say happy for Molly?
Oh, that was actually funny for her. He came over, he's like, hey, Molly, how are you? And she's like, good. And he's like, yeah, happy for you. It was really funny. It was like so dismissive. And then he was just going on and on about him and Ella. And I was like, oh, you are playing such a game, guy.
So apparently, though, Gabby could turn Scott's head. But Zach, he actually just wants to be with Molly. No surprise there. Because like he's probably thinking, he's like, man, if Molly's back here, that means that they want us to get back together. So,
and nothing was happening between him and Katie, to be fair.
But maybe him and Tink.
But I feel like it could have been him and Gabby. Could have been him
and Danielle.
Yeah. Could have been him and any of those other girls in the village.
Because like we know that they only get certain amount of conversations with people. So like if Zach has to waste 2 out of his 4 conversations a day on Molly, like how is he supposed to get to know these other women at Casa Amor? He's gonna have to put all his eggs in Molly's basket, which is annoying. So Elon though makes Catherine breakfast. He does get closer to her, and he leans in and he does kiss her, and she does say, "You're a good kisser." And they kiss again, and that's the end of episode 29. Was it?
And I was just at that end of that episode. I was just like, not all of the conversations in that episode were boring. There was no chemistry with nobody. Like, there was nothing in that episode. Nothing in that episode.
Is that what the episode hashtag is? Nothing in that episode.
Casa Amor is not Casa Amor.
Yeah, Casa Amor is not Casa Amoring. Casa Aboring. Guys have any hashtags for episode 29? Yeah, it's unfortunate that somebody thought they had a great idea and it flopped.
Yeah.
It flopped hard. Producers are trying. Yeah.
Well, they didn't try hard enough.
TA says Ty was so fake about missing Ella, over the top, calculated. It was annoying.
It was so annoying.
Yeah. Natalie's not happy that you brought this back.
I'm sorry. Listen, relationship dynamics is my thing, and so like if I see it across the spectrum of reality shows that I watch, I'm gonna bring it up.
Bring it up.
It just reminded me that, and it does not help that LM sells MLM stuff outside the show. So, yeah.
So, episode 30, part 1, or well, not part 1, but my part 1 for me to remember. We see Catherine running over to tell Ella and Jess about the kiss, and she is so happy. And this is where they also decide to say that they think that Elam is more suited to her, and they even say "ooh." And like, I have to agree though with like you and some of the people that are like, regardless of whether or not they were in a perfect relationship, Scott did stand up for her.
Yeah.
And against the entire villa, against Ty, like all these people that people seem to want to listen to every word that they say. He was willing to stand up for Catherine in those moments. And so Scott, who I think is a little bit disrespectful.
It was like some sort of Scott backlash, and I was like, did I miss a part? Did I miss something? I just don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, but it could just be that they think that they're worried that she might get hurt, so they're just trying to like make sure that I don't know, or maybe they think that she could possibly win and they don't want her to win. Like I don't know. Could it be
I was kind of, after a while, I was starting to lean that way, to be honest. Like, I will not be surprised if Katie or Leah or Jess goes for Scott to win the game.
who would do it? I don't
Katie.
think Katie's too old.
True.
I think. Maybe Jess. Maybe Jess.
Hmm.
So Scott and Gabby have a conversation, and she's putting some eggs in his basket, and she wants to know what his favorite color is, and he does say black. So somebody in the chat was saying that maybe he is into black girls because his favorite color is black.
Somebody on Twitter said, "So, guys, like, I'm still on the ship, but is it possible that Scott is boring? Because why is black his favorite color?" And she seemed to be very kind of turned off by the fact that
Well,
black
she thought
was,
it was like navy blue. And he's
yeah,
like, no, it's black.
it's black. And she
Black's not even a
seemed
color. It's
like,
like the absence of color, you know?
yeah.
It's a shade.
Yeah.
Mary says I think that Zach likes black women too. I believe that he liked Catherine and Whit, but who he went for, he thought would be more popular as Molly over Catherine than Katie over Whitney.
I agree.
I mean, these people aren't. They grew up with social media and they've seen what it can do for your life and career. So they know how to play the game to a certain extent. So they might be more informed, you know? Tink. Oh my god, I actually wrote Tink. I'm sorry. Tink and Montel have a little chat and they talk about what her like ideal first date would be, and she said she wanted to do something kind of adventurous. She loves horses and she used to be a show jumper, so it was nice to hear about her a little bit. I actually wish that she was, spoiler alert, getting into the main villa because I liked her. I thought she was pretty.
Too.
I thought that I wanted to hear more about her. Like,
Hey, they didn't even pick the right freaking Casa girl to get in. Like, ugh, we have Molly and Amber and Abby.
well, we knew that was gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So Mitch and Abby. Abby we learned is a flight attendant, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe I like you a little bit more now. Like, she's obviously pretty, but like I find her to be probably the least pretty out of all of the girls. Yeah. Personally.
And I want to say something. You people who's been going on at Danielle. Like, first of all, she didn't even get any airtime. So why is it that y'all were making fun of her looks based off the one ugly picture that they all get from Love Island?
I remember, like, she looks pretty to me in the house.
Exactly. The little bit that we got to see her. But all these people going on about her hair, going about her looks, going on about everything, talk about worst Casa bombshell. I'm like, are you kidding me? There has been Casa bombshells that come in, and we never hear from them from Dig Dot.
True.
Stop.
Well, you know how they go, these people. So, Abby is into Mitch the most, which is good. I mean, like, she did the right thing. Go for the guy that's single to get into the villa. We have Ty and Molly and Scott having a conversation, and she thinks that Abby is into Mitch, and that's when Ty is like, I hope you tell the girls how good I've been.
Gross. Everything this episode from Ty, Jake 2.0.
Didn't I say that? I said at one point, I'm like, he could easily move like Jake, right?
Yeah, and I said that. I said to people, I think his game plan is either to find the better person than Ella, which to me, to be fair, I agree, there wasn't anybody better than Ella, in my opinion, or to just stick, not twist, period, whatever happened. Knew it was going to happen. And to sit there and needle the boys a little bit. Yeah. And he did it.
But okay, so no, we'll get to it when we get to it. But I definitely we kind of speculated that it was going to be one or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we did
If Katie had come into that casa, I think he would have picked the Katie.
right. Right. It would have to be someone like Bomb,
Yes,
not a wasted spot with Molly Marsh.
correct.
Right. Well, like, and even so, like, Tink might have been able to make something happen, like if Molly wasn't there, because
I
like
agree.
he literally closed himself off,
I
right?
agree. I agree. I agree.
But because he had some eyes watching him.
Yeah, I agree.
So Uzi and Ella have a conversation, and she tells him that him coming in has confused her. She's like, I'm closed off to everyone else except for you, and like, it sucks. I mean, it's good for her to have to be able to make some choices, but like, it just kind of sucks that she's put in a position where she does really like two people, you know,
Yeah,
and she's gonna hurt
somebody.
somebody, including herself potentially.
Correct. And I think her reasoning was sound. Like, she liked this guy outside of the villa. He asked her, he's like, "Can you see something with us afterwards?" She's like, "Yeah, otherwise I would not do this." Like, she's like, because I literally, I did not think any, there would ever be possible for somebody to come in and make me think twice about Ty. And I do feel like she was conflicted. I do feel like they had good chemistry, that she should be conflicted. I I I understood her entire plot, like,
Mm-hmm.
plight. I did not feel like it was fake, and I did not feel it was fake on his end either. And people are like, "Well, why did he ask her for a date on the outside?" And I'm like, again, he is slow moving.
Well, okay, he's slow moving or whatever, but like, you're on a job,
Right,
like, so like, there's a lot of people that do not date people that they work with. They have the same agency.
right.
Like, I could also see like maybe he was hesitant to get with Ella because like maybe she didn't seem serious to him at the time, or like maybe he wasn't sure of like pursuing her like through that channel of communication, or like the meeting that they had. You know what I mean? I can
Hmm.
understand, like, if I was on a photo shoot with somebody and we were flirting and they didn't ask me out, and then I see them again, I'm like, why didn't you ask me out? And he's like, I don't know, I was shy, I didn't want to do it at the, like, I don't know, I can see that very easily happening, that someone doesn't get asked out in the exact moment. Maybe he had one more scene and she left early. You know what I
Right,
mean? Or maybe they went to
right.
separate locations, and then like, what, you're gonna call your agent to be like, hey, like, can you give me Ella's phone number? Like, no,
Right.
like, or like slide into her DMs. Like, maybe she didn't feel like that was gonna be genuine. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I could very easily understand why they didn't connect that way
yeah.
originally.
And at least they didn't lie to us and tell us like they didn't know each other, like a certain Will and Kira did.
Oh, right. Exactly. At least they'll just be opening and honest about it.
Yeah.
100%. So they do have more serious conversations, absolutely. And then he leans in for a kiss, and she does swerves him by saying it's too soon, and not that she doesn't want to kiss him, but it's too soon. But they can cuddle. So I felt bad though with the swerve, but he handled it decently well. But
Yeah.
like, I hate seeing the swerve. It's so
Yeah,
bad.
but I thought it was appropriate.
No, I don't think that she should have kissed him.
Yeah.
Um, if she kissed him, there's not a chance in hell that her and Ty would ever like be able to reconcile that, because
Yeah.
100% that would be part of movie night, and Ty is too proud, for
Although
that.
I don't know if she did kiss him in bed. Did you see that part?
I don't. You can't tell.
Yeah.
We don't know.
They like there was sounds added. I can't. I'm not sure because they did make a whole thing about India's kiss with Deji as if it happened, and she's like, "Nothing happened."
Mhm. So young Cody tells Jess that she is the main person that he's interested in, because she's blonde. And like, Jess is kind of just entertaining him, but like, you can tell that she's just like,
Yeah.
no.
And he starts. He starts like, "So what do you think? You and me?" She's like, I just sat down with you. It's just hilarious. It's like, okay, kid, time to go home. Time to go home.
So Logan is talking to Whitney, and he's like, she's like, "Oh, what's my sign?" And he's like, "Oh, like Aries or April or May or something like that." And she's like, "I'm a Scorpio,"
Scorpio.
and she's like, "Read me." Is that here or shit? It's the
Mm-hmm.
other thing.
Yeah, that's there. That was
Actually, I
there.
don't think it's there, but he does give her a good read on her.
He did.
And like saying like the type of person that she is and like how she comes across and that like no, it was the same conversation. Yeah, it was. So with her being a Scorpio, Scorpios do hide their feelings and they do tend to put up a little bit of a front necessarily just so that they don't get hurt. They're extremely loyal and they definitely are very emotional, but they don't, it's like a hidden emotion. Like they don't always show that side to people. So the fact that he was able to clock that, I thought was pretty perceptive.
Absolutely.
And she says that her eyes are opening to him a little bit, and I think I like him.
Yeah. I listen. I'm always gonna side eye almost everybody. I've said this. Like, I'm gonna side eye you till it's time not to side eye you. But I after this conversation, I definitely liked him better than
Ready?
Oh my god. I just felt like he wasn't he was meeting her where she was at and not trying to stick it to her too long.
Absolutely. Like you said, like Elam is like trying to prove to Catherine that he's a good guy and that she should choose him.
Right.
But Loken is just seemingly being himself, and they're connecting in a seemingly genuine way.
Yeah.
So it's everybody's getting ready, I believe, for bed. Jess is still into Sammy. What did I write? Casanoras. Oh, Novas. Well, the guys are Casanovas. Are they getting ready for the night, or they're getting ready for a party? Oh, party. Just kidding.
It was I think it was
Party.
party because that's when they played.
Yeah,
Truth or
Katie
Dare.
suggests Truth or Dare. So original.
Yeah, Katie keeps seeming to pushing these people to do stuff, and yet did nothing. Did nothing.
I think I wrote down everyone's here. So Catherine wants Whitney and her to do a 3-way kiss, and they choose Cody. Why do you think they chose Cody?
I don't know. I mean,
maybe because nobody's gonna choose him. So like,
yeah.
Like,
I'm like, can
so
we just
feel
like,
bad?
can we let the 20-year-old just leave the villa unscathed? Like, leave him be.
So Cody dares Uzi to suck the toe of a girl that he likes. He chooses Ella. Katie tells Catherine to take the top of the Islander that she likes and lick him up and down. So she does this to your guy, Elam.
Mm-hmm.
Jess dares Uzi to kiss his top 3 girls.
Top 3,
she chooses Leah, Katie, and Ella.
Mm-hmm.
Jess tells Leah to ride on top of the boy that she fancies the most, Uzi. And she was getting into it.
Mm-hmm. And then she goes and says, but I mean, I was so, kind of, okay with him choosing me in his top 3, but, I'm here waiting on Montel.
I roll. And then we see everybody twerking in front of a boy, like, and screaming over to the villa. I thought that was funny.
I was like, this is why they needed to be zooming in with their little phone cameras.
Yeah, the twerk line was new. People are gonna do that from now on. That's a staple, I think, for this season.
Terrible. Not really terrible. I think it's funny.
So back at the villa, Sammy and Amber are talking, and he says that he likes her more than Tink. Ella, sorry?
I said out of nowhere.
Right? I was like, who is Amber? And then Ella too, and then I wrote down Gabby interrupts.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I didn't even know that Gabby was like in the equation here with Sammy, but we're learning that she is now. because I had to like put it back because then later on the episode I'm like, wait, Gabby's part of it. I'm so confused that Gabby and Sammy have something. So then Abby and Mitch kiss on the terrace, and Abby was the one that took him there, and so Mitch was really thought this was amazing that she
Yeah.
was the one that led him over to the terrace.
Well, that's the type of person that Mitch needs.
Someone that's into him,
Yeah.
or like pretend, like acts like he's there into him.
Also, they're into, yeah, pursuing him.
Yes. So Molly, Zach, and Ty are talking, and Ty says that he's on the way to loving Ella. He's on the way. He's on the way to loving Ella. Oh, he's on his way. It's such lip service. So Molly and Zach leave Ty, and because they want to be alone, she just wants to be alone with him. And the moment, like, I thought this was suave on his part, but I'm just annoyed that it's Molly because she's like, "Are you gonna ask to kiss me?" And he's like, "I'm not asking for a kiss. I'm just gonna go in for a kiss." And then after they kiss, I miss that. I miss kissing. But the music, okay, was like really romantic music. And then it was this music from Romeo and Juliet. You know, the missing you.
Yeah. And I said, I don't care. I don't care about any of this. Like, I see no chemistry between the two of them. That kiss was terrible, and I'm sorry. There's nothing that's pulling me to them. Sorry.
Even the swelling music and the really good song
didn't bring it to me.
Well, Ty is now telling Sammy, this is Ty in his Jake era, to go lips both girls. Because Sammy doesn't know if he now wants Gabby or Amber. I'm like, well, what happened to Tig?
I don't know. I'm starting to feel like, now, hear me out. Because the way Maya said it to Sammy is like he had to recouple because he was single. And I was like, when since? And I had like mentioned this on Twitter, like, I'm not sure if, because we saw in the US, Olivia was able to come back single even though she went into the Casa single, but I wasn't sure if that was possible in the UK. So when we came to recoupling, Maya said, "Oh, so you're single, so you have to couple up." And so I'm like, so are you guys forcing this man to choose Amber because she's Gemma 2.0? Like, or what? Like,
my Tamika. I'm doing my Tamika. I mean, that's what my first thought was. Not for the reasonings that you're saying. Like with like, I was just thinking that decision happened because they wanted the footballer's daughter in the villa.
Yeah,
I had that thought myself. So then Sammy's with, I'm like, I don't know who's who. Amber? I just put up to blank. They kiss, and he says to her, like, no, I haven't kissed Gabby yet. And she clocks that. And she's like, but I'm going to be in your bed tonight. And she better not pulling Gabby to kiss her. So that Amber says that. And then Amber tells, I'm calling them Zolly and Mabby, because there's just too many names to remember. So we got Zach and Molly and Zolly, and Mitch and Abby is Mabby. So Amber's telling them that he just kissed Sammy. And then Sammy goes and tells Ty Scott Montel about the kiss. And Ty, in his era, as Fernando says, acting like Luca and Jake, he encourages him to also pull Gabby and lips her. So then Gabby and Sammy kiss, while Mitch is kind of watching, but then I thought he was doing a play-by-play, but then he didn't do the play-by-play of the kiss, which was weird. And then Gabby learns that Sammy did just kiss Amber, and she feels a bit mugged off by this.
She was pissed.
It's fucking rude,
though. I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's rude.
It was rude.
Like,
it was actually gross.
These women are not there just so that they can like fuck around with and then like, chuck.
Yeah. Like, if you have to kiss two women to feel like you're going to choose them, doesn't that mean that you should choose neither? Because why is it neither conversation could help you choose? Oh, we're gonna get to Montel No Balls ass in a minute.
um. So then Ty is saying it's a lad's holiday. It's a lad's holiday. It's a lad's holiday. Like what the bleep? Why is it a lad's holiday for everybody but you now, Ty? Because you're closed off. Closed off doesn't mean anything. It means that you are not necessarily going to entertain people, but you're in Casa Amor. So closed off isn't exclusive, isn't in a relationship, isn't
Yeah,
like boyfriend, girlfriend. Like closed off just means that
you
it would
weren't.
take somebody. Say
Yeah,
again.
I was gonna say you weren't gonna just entertain anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so annoying. I'm so mad at him. So wait, so Fernando's saying that Scott was so pure in that scene, saying, "What have you done, Ty?" I don't remember that. Did he say that?
He did. He did. He doesn't say it here. He says it after the Montel one. He's like,
Gotcha.
Ty, what have you done? And somebody was like, can Ty tell Scott to go kiss somebody? I was like, but Scott's not a follower. That's why Ty doesn't like him.
Yep, 100%. So, see, yeah, so Ty's in the Let's Holiday about Matt Montel about Ting, and he's like, "Well, I'm closed. You're open. I'm closed. You're open." Like that's his rationale.
Mm-hmm.
So Montel does go and pull. Oh, I said Ting again, but I wrote down Ting and I said Ting. Montel goes to pull Tink to the terrace, and she does want to spend time with him, and they kiss, and the kiss to me actually looked okay at the time. I was like,
it was a good kiss.
I
So
thought I was like,
the conversation the next day actually did not shock me. I agree with her with what she said standing at the recovery.
well, so like honestly, like I thought the kiss looked all right, and
Yeah.
and he said that he didn't feel anything after. He was just feeling bad after.
He's full of shit because then he started kissing her in bed the rest of the night.
I definitely clocked that as well, but I was like,
He
the kiss
did not want to say it publicly
maybe.
because
So over at Casa Amor, we see obviously in this scene right now, Leah hopes that Montel is on the daybed and that the boys will be honest. Ella and Uzi are talking, and she does say in her confessional that she knows that, or maybe even to him, that she knows that he likes her. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's also something that is comforting for Ella, is that like she doesn't know that Ty really likes her, because the last time is like she's like, oh, we thought they were in a good place, and he's like, oh, I missed the game. And then she's like, well, like, you have to stop being scared. Mm-hmm. You know, like you gotta. So she's not seen this transformation of Ty, right? Mm-hmm. She hasn't seen Ty 2.0. She hasn't seen Ty proving that the game is over and that he's all in for her. He's having all these moments outside of his relationship with Ella, and so that's why I feel like it's quite performative. Mm-hmm. Because of the fact that all of a sudden these new revelations are happening when they're separate.
Yeah.
So now that he can now have full reign to go back to his old self.
Listen, you know what's the old adage? Like, tell me while I'm here. Like don't sit there and when I'm gone, all of a sudden you want to wax poetically about me. What does that help Ella? That you're in the villa right now, having all these lovely words to say, and when she was around, all you did was shit on her 24 hours with your words.
Yeah, exactly. So Whit and Logan have a conversation. And they talk about what's his favorite feature. And she thought, "Oh, your feature?" And he's like, "No, yours." And so he thinks his beard. Do you think his beard is his best feature?
I can see that, but I told you I like everybody with black men with beards.
I have to agree. I don't tend to like, especially really strong, like really coiffed lines. I don't like that.
Yeah.
On anybody. I don't like super coiffed lines on anybody, but like it shows up more on black men. So he says to her, "Your lips are his favorite feature, and she has a good smile and great teeth, and they do have a little peck, and then a little bit longer of a kiss." And does she say after, "It's giving me lip liner"?
I love that woman. I'm sorry. I need her to win the game because she's hilarious. She deserves it.
Everett and Sammy have a conversation, and he tells her that he did kiss at Gabby, but he feels stronger to Gabby, so he's going to be staying with Gabby. I was like, okay, after Gabby was so pissed at you? I was like, what?
It
Okay.
was so weird. It was so weird because I swore, like today I did predictions and I was like, Sammy's going to choose Gabby. And everybody's like, no. Apparently there was some unproperly edited cut in the first look, and it showed that he had pink hair. And I was like, wait, what?
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, he likes Amber more. No, sorry, he likes Gabby more. So Amber goes and tells Mitch, Molly, and Zach. Sorry, Mitch and Zolly that she doesn't that she doesn't want him to see her cry because she's crying over the fact that he chooses Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Zach talks to Mitch and they talk about how Mitch got a kiss, Montel got a kiss, and you got 2 kisses. Sammy got 2 kisses, and he
Mm-hmm.
rekindled with a kiss. And so, like,
Yeah.
okay, everybody's kissing except for Ty.
Yeah. And
Um,
Scott. And Scott. To be fair to Scott.
oh, I forgot about Scott, to be honest.
Yeah.
So they're all getting ready for the night, and who says I'm betting on you and Sammy?
Oh, Whitney. Shockingly.
Betting on you and Sammy. Mitch and Abby, we see them kissing. Oh, this is right before bed, right? And then we see Montel and Tink under the covers. Mm-hmm. I was like, you didn't feel that kiss, and you're feeling bad. Like, if you feel bad, you don't go for more underneath under the covers. If you didn't feel butterflies, you shouldn't be doing anything more underneath the covers.
Yeah.
At all. So Ella's talking to Uzi, and she lets him know that he's really scrambled her head. And in the morning, we see the Villa boys, and they talk. Wait, lips didn't help Tink. Did they say that, or kiss didn't help Tink?
I don't know, but again, I think Montel was like trying to fluff it off that it's still Leah, but then when he had the conversation,
the kiss didn't help Tink, like him have more feelings for Tink.
Yeah, but like Leah was still in his top over her. But then when he had the conversation with Tink, he was like, "Oh well, you're more my type." I was like, "So what?" And I want to point out that some of y'all wanted him with Catherine. And shame.
I mean, I thought he was attractive, and I thought that they had decent conversation. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I can take credit for. So Sammy says that you don't have to make a what? Sammy, you don't have to make a decision. Is that what he said?
Well, yeah, because I think they were thinking that the recoupling was not today.
Yeah, you don't have to make a decision right now. It's because Ty is the one that's saying that. Like, you don't have to make a decision, so you can still juggle both of them back and forth. Like, you don't have to make a decision right now. Jerk. So the cast of girls, Jess is open, but still thinks Sammy is the one for her. And then Catherine says that, Elam is so different to Scott, but her head is turned a bit. I'm like, oh, man.
I didn't get it. I was like, turn to what? Y'all have no chemistry. I don't know. Maybe I don't know things.
Maybe she just felt safer because he's black. I think I said it already.
I feel like it. I feel like gotta be it.
Because, like, maybe her and Scott could have won. Guys, hear me out.
Oh no, they could have won.
Right?
They
had
maybe 500 and
she's also like subconsciously afraid of the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
like of her being in the end with Scott and how much she's going to have to be combating their relationship and like having
Mm-hmm.
all
I
these
see that.
people that don't accept interracial relationships, don't
Mm-hmm.
like black women, like all those people will come to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And like she's probably seeing glimpses of this with people
Mm-hmm.
trying to break them up in the villa. So maybe subconsciously she self-sabotaged herself here from
True.
getting the win
Yeah.
because she intuitively had an idea of what kind of smoke would be coming for her.
I can see that as well. Her sister is pissed. Her sisters are pissed. Like they're begging her to go back to him. I was like, ugh, I
I
don't
was
know.
rooting for you. We were rooting for you. How
Yeah,
dare you?
I know. Listen, I'm not mad at
No,
Catherine.
she's too. I mean, she's
I
having a
I
fun
just
experience.
again I just feel like I missed the play at like somewhere. Like I feel like just there was like a page in the novel and there's like a few pages that were missing, and when they handed it to me, and so I was getting the overview of the story, and there was a guy in the front and it was like, oh wow, he's such a great guy, and then there was a guy in the back, and it's just like all of a sudden, wham, like he's the guy, and I don't get it, but
Well, Ella really misses Ty. No surprise. Like they'd spent 3 weeks together, like, and they've had some ups and downs, so it makes sense. And
yeah.
she knew him from before, so she also has like that immediate connection to him.
Hmm.
That's gonna jumpstart her, like catapult her ahead in like feeling
Hmm.
something because you already knew him, so you're gonna feel.
And what did Ella say? She did not want to start over. She didn't want to start over. So the fact that she chose Uzi, guys, she had said before she did not want to start over. That should tell you that she really thought that something was there.
Molly and Tink have a conversation, and I was thinking that she was giving Tink a really bad read. What was she saying to Tink? Because I was like, oh, Molly, you're not on the money here. You're giving a bad read.
Hmm.
What did she say? Where are we?
Oh,
Episode
she was saying
3.
that. Oh, okay. So this was the conversation when she was talking to Tink about Montel and Leah, and she was like, "Oh, I think he could possibly choose you, but Leah's my friend, and maybe it wasn't as big of a connection." I said, "Yes,
Oh, it was early
my
days. Early days.
yeah, I said, mind you, Molly, you came out the freaking villa and went on every platform and told them that the strongest couple in
It's
there was
Leah and
Leah and
Montel.
Montel. So next time, how about you shut your mouth?"
So okay, so Sharnice, hi Sharnice. We don't really even know Kat and Scott as a couple. Producers made sure of that. I know.
True, true. I'm only going by when we did see them, the chemistry I saw when I did see them. Just like I'm only going by when I did see Ellen and her, the non chemistry. That's all I can go by. That's what I'm trying to say. That maybe I'm missing something because I understand that it's edited and I understand that conversations were edited. But I thought she had the backing of some of the girls with her and Scott. Again. Well, I know Jess didn't back her with him, but it was, again, I thought it was mostly the boys, but maybe it was everybody, and I'm gonna be fair to her. If you have every freaking person in the villa telling you that that person doesn't like you, I do not understand what people expect for her.
Mm-hmm. So Mary said it's the second time that Kat has mentioned feeling more comfortable with the black man. She said something similar to Montel. I don't specifically remember that.
I
Do
don't
you?
remember that either. I don't remember that.
I'll look out for it, Mary. I don't remember her specifically saying that, but I could feel that that's a possibility.
Hmm.
Um, and CJ was saying maybe I'm toxic, but this is the most spark I've seen is between Catherine and Scott.
I mean, this is the most fire we've seen between them, but they had nothing to fire. And oh, also, when she was saying that Scott cares too much about what people in the villa think, I'm also wondering. Remember, she told him not to do that fire pit conversation, and I'm wondering if that really kind of turned her off. That he went ahead and did, like, it turned some of us on, but I'm wondering if it turned her a little bit off that he did that entire, like, break even the girls in front of everybody and did that, because she told him not to, and maybe it upset her more than we think. And so I was thinking that as well when she kind of kept saying that, and the girls kept saying that yeah, she thinks he Scott worries too much what everybody in the villa thinks. And to me it felt differently, but maybe to
Mm-hmm.
her that's how it felt. It felt like the spotlight was on her, and he was making everybody go around telling what they thought about their relationship as if it mattered, and it shouldn't have. So that also, I'm trying to be fair that we miss a lot of things, and so I'm not saying Scott's wrong, but I'm also not saying that Kat's wrong.
Yeah, I know, and I hear what you're saying, and I could see her not necessarily for the same reason that you're saying. Like, that's a possibility, but even so, that with having all these people saying things and
Mm-hmm.
him like needing to defend it, that's
Mm-hmm.
that whole the adage that doth protest too much. Like
Correct.
maybe she was starting to feel like, oh, he needs to defend this so badly. Maybe there's a hint of truth here.
Correct.
So maybe that just made her second guess everything because, like you're saying, why do you need to prove to everybody that it's untrue and your true feelings when we know
Right.
what we have together? So maybe it's the doth protest too much part of it that it's like, hmm, why do you need to go this hard? Maybe it's
Yeah.
true.
I think something might have either triggered her or turned her off about it. And it just because when she was saying that, everybody online is like, "Oh, how dare she say that about him?" But it kind of like just clicked in my head that, oh, maybe she did not like that fire pit. She told him not to do it. She said, "No, you don't. You need to do that. Like you talk with the boys. You don't need to bring." She's like, but he was like, "No, girls were over there saying it, so if they gotta say it. They're gonna say it to my face." I back him on it, but I am not Cat. So does it matter if I back him on
Okay,
it?
so Dan here thinks that Catherine is allowed to get to know Elon, but she didn't have to kiss him, especially so soon. What do you think about that?
No, I think she could do whatever she wants to because they weren't closed off. They weren't in a relationship. They were
And
literally
they're like, how
open.
long? Like 48 hours of Casa Amor?
Yeah. And at this point, if Scott, so now this is my thing. This is where I'm going to kind of kick Scott in the butt a bit. Because I understand him where he was coming a little bit after the recoupling, but I'm going to kick him a little bit. If you cared this much, you cared a little too
Too
late.
much. Yeah.
You should have closed her off. You should have said you were closed off and you wanted her to be closed off. Then we can be upset at Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even saying super upset. I'm saying just a little bit upset because she did close things off, and she got chosen a couple times and it didn't work out and whatever. Why I'm not upset at Ella about her like moving forward with somebody else is she had nobody else come in there for her. This was the first time somebody else came in there for her, and it was somebody that she knew prior to coming into the villa. Expecting Ella to throw that away is kind of unfair, regardless of what's going on with her and Ty. To be honest,
And the fact that she knew him from beforehand, it's like unfinished
yeah,
business. Like,
it's unfinished
everybody's
business.
super excited about Molly coming back in there and like going and interfering with Zach. And like,
Yeah,
so this is a similar situation that they had unfinished business
yeah,
that is interfering with what's been going on in the villa.
yeah.
And
Because
so,
he told Katie that it was just her and him. Remember, he wasn't going to get to know Whitney. He wasn't like they're not totally closed off, but he was going to focus on her. So what's the difference?
mhm.
What is exactly the difference?
So yeah, so people think that it's pretty snake behavior though from Molly with Leah being her friend and the fact
Yeah,
that she's now like not now telling Tink. So I'm wondering if she is threatened by maybe Leah and because Montel was seemingly saying that I only have eyes for Leah, and so maybe Molly's trying to make sure that there's not another strong couple, so she has a better chance at getting that W.
listen, I don't
I
put it
roll.
past her. I think Molly's very calculated, but just not good Islander. Not good TV.
Aw, TA's like Catherine said she's never been in a real relationship. She probably just said she felt at this point, dang if you do, dang if you don't. Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said when she said that she was in situations she had never gone to the point of committing to a relationship. I said, And when she explained why, I was like, oh, yeah, she's gonna have to do this. And if Scott doesn't fight for her, it's over. It's over. He's going to have to show her that it's them,
He's not. I don't think he's gonna do that.
and he's not going to do that. And it's fine, but I think that's what would have been necessary in order for this to move forward. To be
So
honest.
Ty all of a sudden is worried now about Ella. Worried about Ella, and the boys are reassuring him that Ella's not going to do that. And I feel like all of this is really, really calculated.
Yeah, it
And
was all
that
calculated.
Ty
And,
is.
and I'm not even saying it was. I think it could have been producer manipulation, like asking him questions. So what if Ella brings somebody back? What will you do? What's gonna happen? What's the And he started to get a little bit of, oh, so she might bring somebody back. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna lean into this even harder. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Uzi gives Ella a massage, obviously right after we see Ty like worried about Ella.
That back and forth was like the producers were when it comes to this storyline, the producers
Yeah,
were
they did a good job.
producing. They were producing.
So she does feel like there's something there, and well, I can see that there's something there. Like she's softer when she's with Uzi. She's seemingly more open. She doesn't have like a hard shell up. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I like their energy together, and I don't know. I like it. I like it.
I said, oh my god, this is the calmest I've seen her be. She's so happy. Like he calms her. It was just like, the parting of the Red Sea was just like, like walk through to the
But I think
light.
she's gonna miss the toxicity because that's
Yeah.
the game that she likes.
Yeah.
Right? She's gonna miss the game.
Yeah.
That game.
Yeah.
Logan and Whitney are talking on the couch, and like she has her legs over him. I'm like, okay, getting comfy,
Yeah.
getting cozy.
I was like, all right, we're moving forward. All right, I
They
like
talk about 5-year plans, and she does say that she's never lived with a partner or been on vacation with them, and so he's like, we're gonna have to start. We're gonna do that, but we're gonna have to start with something slow. And then he's classy vibes, so he gives her a kiss on the cheek. I like them together.
Yeah, I kind of like their little spark that's happening right now.
So Amber tells Sammy that like you're moving a bit mad, like with your kissing this person, then kissing me, and then sleeping in the bed with this person, and like she's right to say that. It's like Sammy just needs to know that like you're like this is not great. Such a jerk.
I mean,
and with his sister coming up being like, "Stop being mean to me, such a sweet boy."
Yeah, and I know she's also only 20, but thank God Sammy's only 22. But it's just like you're playing games with a 20-year-old. Like, ugh.
Dan wants to know who the new producer is because that transition was funny.
that editing. Whew, good job.
Oh, hold on. Okay, so Tanita is saying, yeah. So I feel like Catherine, like the pressure Elon was giving her, maybe Scott in her eyes wasn't applying enough pressure.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was yeah, it was like a little too late.
If he does, you know what I mean?
If he does, I mean, he could be playing the same game Ty is playing. I don't know, but I did feel like they had chemistry. I did think that he liked her, but maybe he was playing the game the entire time, and this is his game, and we know she's gonna get hate for it, no matter that they weren't closed off, or because he defended her, and he, it was what happened with Kaz and that guy that I don't speak his name.
I wrote. Is it the person I'm talking about right now?
Who?
Montel?
No, Matt and Kaz.
Irish guy.
Yes.
Montel and Tink have a conversation. He says, "I'm more interested in this." Is that what he said?
Said that.
Okay, because like I'm just confused because like I've seen the next episode, so
yeah, she did not lie. He was making it seem like she lied. She did not lie about all the stuff that he said and did to her.
Two texts are given out, one in the villa and one in Casa Amor. Recoupling is happening, stick or twist. And I was just like, I really hope that Katie recouples with Uzi to bring Uzi back into the villa,
Yeah.
and the movie night, maybe things will erupt. But like, I feel like that would have been the best way to go
I think so too.
at this point, anyways.
Yeah, I said it. I said, I'm gonna be fair. I said that I wanted Ella to recouple with Uzi, but I knew that if she did, her and Ty were dead. So I was kind of hoping that either Katie or Leah brought him back.
Exactly. Exactly. So, what is our episode 30 hashtag?
Hashtag. I don't even know. Oof. Heads are scrambled. Heads are scrambled. My head was scrambled after this because I was like, what is going on? Who likes who? Who might pick who? I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know who heads are scrambled. Like, I don't know, Montel and Sammy both moving mad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He has no balls. Like, for you to let Ty push you to kiss somebody you supposedly did not want to kiss, which I don't believe. You, like, and somebody else said, another popular TikToker, she's like, first of all, if I was Leah, he I wouldn't want nothing to do with Montel because period. I would want nothing to do with Montel because you allowed some guy to push you into kissing some other girl just to try it. Like, no, that turns me off. Nah, pretty much.
I say jump, you say how high.
Yeah.
Without the spelling mistakes, follow the leader. I knew what you meant, though. I knew what you meant. Okay, well, I'll clip one of these, but definitely Montel is fake because he literally is saying one thing and doing the other.
Yeah.
Definitely follow the leader. It's like, well, they're not actually following Ty because Ty's not doing this, but like following their master. Like, I don't know. It
was like
it's loser the big behavior.
It was like whatever he was saying for them to do, they were doing. I was like, what is?
Ty is Jake 2.0.
Yep, Ty Jake 2.0.
Could be one. Okay, well, we'll use one of those. Okay, last episode. There's not that much that goes down.
No, because they went straight into a recoupling.
I was
like,
very happy about this because I didn't want a lot of, Ty's lapdogs. Holy. So episode 31 here, and the girls are all getting ready for the night. The new girls can't wait to see the OG girls' face when they see Molly. And I was like, I am interested just to see their reaction. But, like, I don't want this all to be about their reaction about Molly. I don't care. Why?
Didn't seem like they had much.
Why? I don't get it. Okay, so cheers happens, whatever happens, it's been a good one. It's true. I think that they probably had a good time, but Casa Amor was not Casa Amoring at all. It was pretty.
It was blah.
Pretty. Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that Catherine has an option. I like the fact that Whitney got an option.
Yep.
This is very positive, and even Ella has an option, a new option, depending, because like we may want, or she may want to be with Ty, but having an option so that Ty doesn't have the upper hand here is better for Ella in general. And if they don't end up working out, I don't think that Ty is necessarily good for Ella. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. We've been saying that from a while now, that I just don't see her and Ty lasting on the outside, to be fair.
So Maya Jama enters the villa, always looking fire.
Oh,
And we get right into the recoupling. I didn't write down all the things that she said to everybody, but Sammy get wait, what did I write? Oh, right, okay. So Sammy gets the cheesy music, and I'm like, oh, he's sticking, like he's staying alone or whatever. And I'm like, ooh, shock, he's not. I was like, oh, he's gonna choose Gabby, and then I was like, what? Amber? Like
yeah,
Amber?
I had
I thought it
it
was
in my
alone.
predictions. And people are like, no, she doesn't get chosen. He chooses Amber. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
I
And they're like,
literally was like, he's sticking. I'm like, oh, shock. He's switching. He's gonna pick Gabby.
yeah,
What? Amber? Like that was the last out of the three thoughts that I thought was gonna happen.
yeah.
Did not think
And
it.
so, like I said earlier, I thought maybe he did have to choose somebody. And so in my head, I'm thinking, well, last we saw it was Gabby. So then when Maya says he has to choose somebody, it was like, well, you're single, so you have to choose somebody. It was like, huh? Okay, so you do have to choose somebody. So it's like, okay, so he's gonna choose Gabby. He chooses Amber. I'm so confused. Like, what happened? What did I miss? Okay,
Producer,
producers.
footballer's
Yeah, I
daughter.
don't know. So
Maybe she's
again,
being paid to be there and she has to do a couple episodes.
or she's there waiting on time because remember that was who she was interested in. And then Jess and Sammy get back together, and yeah,
Wouldn't feel comfortable with Ty being with
20 year old
Amber.
exactly.
That's just like he's playing too many games with this young girl.
Yeah,
So
but they were fine with Davide and Gemma.
I didn't like that either, and that was a
Me
bigger
neither.
age difference. So Whitney brings in Logan, which was fine. Then she notices Molly. She was like, like she
She
thought it was
sits
really
down and she
shocking.
just looks over. So it's like, oh, okay, hey.
No, she was shocked. She was shocked, but like also was like annoyed with like Molly be like like being like, yeah, it's me, I'm
Yeah,
here. Like,
I'm
get
here.
out of here.
We don't care.
Zach obviously chooses to partner up now with Molly. Second chances don't come around often. And then I wrote down, oh no, are they winning?
Yeah, probably.
And
That's it. This is all that Fiat needed. Catherine and Scott done. They're great white hope to believe in. So I said a couple days ago, whatever happened, my ships have not won Love Island UK ever. So I'm good. Like it happens. They a couple of them are still together. It is what it is. Listen, Mike and Priscilla lasted for a year and a half outside the villa. Davy and India are still together. Tanya and Shaq are still together. I can't I can't help. I can't help the UK.
yeah, Fiat is too strong.
Yeah,
Her voice is strong.
yeah.
So Katie, I'm like, bring Uzi, not that kid. And I'm like, alone? Why would she want to
No,
walk out alone? That is
from
so.
they were in this position, I said, "Oh, she didn't bring Uzi. Oh, Ella brought Uzi." From she was, but before they even announced it, and she was in this position, he chose. I was like, "Oh shoot, Ella's definitely bringing Uzi." I knew it from that.
Well,
From
Uzi has to be in the villa. There's no way that Uzi was going to stand there
mm-hmm,
and then send him home.
there
There's
was no way.
no way. The
No.
best looking guy on the season, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not going to let him go home beside
Mm-hmm.
Cody.
Cody, yeah. Once they decided to do them second, I was like, oh, because I was like, oh, they'll do Mitch and Jess next because Sammy had already picked, and then they would do them later on, and then we would know, we'd get the Katie reaction, or she'd be bringing in Uzi, and it would be okay. But once they did them second, I was like, oh, okay, so yeah, Ella brought Uzi back.
And then Montel sticks with Leah.
Wait,
And
we didn't talk about Katie's reaction, guys. Like,
oh,
is it because there
with
was none?
Molly. Oh, and she just like, oh yeah, oh Molly, you're back.
Congratulations.
Like, welcome back to the villa.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All that drama that people insisted, no, there's gonna be so much drama. I said, where? You think that Katie's gonna care that the producers brought Molly back to couple back up with Zach? Like, really? Y'all think that that's what Katie's gonna be doing over Zach? Okay.
Whitney's reaction to seeing Molly was so good. I'm just rambling over here. I can't hear you because I'm watching it now.
Well,
You're at exactly the right point.
we're right there with you, girl.
Oh my god! If Zach and Molly win this season, I roll. They're begging for this to happen.
They want it so badly.
Danita says, I feel the producers want a certain type of couple to win Love Island this season, and they're pushing hard for it every season. This is the Molly Liam. Or, sorry, is that
Gemma, Liam, Gemma, Luca.
No, I heard it was Molly as well, right? The blonde girl with Liam.
Oh, yes. Yes, Molly and Liam.
Yeah, like blonde white Mollys to win.
Yeah. And all of them have broken up.
Except for Molly May. But they didn't win, so.
No, they didn't win. But
no, yeah, Amber won, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, and then Liam and because even then, season 6, they tried to send in somebody for Shauna because they wanted Shauna to win.
Oh, it's Millie. Okay, sorry.
Millie, yes. And they broke up and got back together because they're together again now. But they sent in somebody season 6 for Shauna. And she didn't take him, and yeah, she got dumped. But she also had a boyfriend on the outside, so there's also that. But they're Paige and Finn one. They're to be fair, I liked Paige and Finn. I'm not gonna to me. All the most of the couples that came.
It's the same couple though. Blonde, white blonde girl with a light brown blondish guy.
Yeah. Season 6 came out with the most couples, and they were strong couples that all most of them lasted. We still have Molly and Connor still together, I think it is, and Naz and Eva are still together, but they were never going to win because it is what it is.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Denise says, if I was in Katie's place, I would have been petty and said, usually when people get dumped, they don't come back. Joking? I'm not joking. That's I agree. I would have been like, oh, did you come back to be dumped again?
And I said that needs to be the agenda. If y'all know what's good for you, worry about everybody else later. Dump Molly and Zach together this time. Don't put them in the freaking villa.
Maybe, you know what though? Maybe the producers will realize that what they've done is not good, and they will allow them to get dumped.
Yeah.
If it happens.
If it happens.
Like maybe.
I don't see it.
Because that would be. Oh, it's Callum. Yeah, I was like,
Callum. That's it, guys. Too many names for me to remember.
But they're all the same. Everybody has this. There's always a Connor. There's always a Callum. There's always a Molly. There's always a Gabby. There's always an Abby. There's it's like.
I remember all of them. And season 6 was the season I watched first. So I'm not live. I watched it during COVID after I watched season 2 of Love Island USA. So I watched season 6 first, and then I went back and watched season 5. And so I liked that season. I know nobody else liked that season, but I also liked it because so many couples did come from that season. And they were strong couples.
Season 6 was dead, says Fernando. I agree. Yeah. Thank you, David, for the super chat. Much appreciate the support with the channel. Thank you. So getting to the, do you want to say anything else about Katie's reaction to Molly? I didn't write anything down because I didn't care, but
I was laughing because I was like, this was the big. So many IG comments. No, you guys, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. The thing is gonna be when Katie comes in and sees them standing there. Cricket.
like probably the least like reaction to anything. Even
Yeah.
to Molly being there, like, "Oh, Molly, you're back. I'm sorry about that."
Yeah. She's like, sorry about that. Like, not my fault.
Oh my god. I'm gonna just, when I get to Rachel's comment there. Oh my god, it's so bad. Okay, so Montel's next. He decides to stick with Leah, and Ting looks shocked, and she's just like so fake, and she was not happy about this. Leah comes back in. She also stayed single, and they all sit down, both buzzing, happy to be back together. And then Tink said that in bed was not PG. How could you move like that and still stick in your couple? I was like, ooh, that's not good, Montel. Not good at all. That is going to be something that's going to happen in movie night for sure. We're going to see that for sure. Scott, do you want to say anything more about that? I know you don't like him.
Scott? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I agreed with that TikToker that said that Montel, he is a waste of space. He and Leah can ride the bus out of the villa. I don't care about any of this because I knew that's what he was going to do. I saw it coming. He had so much vim about Scott and Catherine, and he is a no balls jerk.
Bit of an asshole.
Yep.
So Scott decides to stick with Catherine, and then Catherine comes out, and she comes out with Elam. Oh my god, these names. With Elam, and she says that, she owed it to herself to explore this potential. And then Scott, I know people are saying like, oh, he's hurt, but when he said, oh, the opinions around the fire pit were at the wrong person,
aimed at the wrong person,
I was like, that's not what you say to somebody that you're really into that came in this way. That's what somebody says that's playing a game, that was doing this to be performative, in my opinion.
Okay, so at the top of the episode, he said he said to Ty, this was make or break. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Because going into this, you said you knew that it was possible that all the comments had gotten to Catherine's head. And again, if you really thought that, you would fight for her. But when he made that comment, and then when he said that comment, I was like, oh, okay, it's over, whatever. I don't care. I would feel sorry, but my whole thing is, y'all weren't in a couple. I would feel sorry, but you guys weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. I would feel sorry, but like, if you really were understanding and cared about her, you would wait to hear what she had to say instead of having so much to like.
And like, she just like, when she saw that he was standing there, she's like, I really didn't think that he was.
She looked shocked. She looked shocked. Her face was like, she was shocked.
Because she probably thought that, like everybody was saying, that he was just not that into her, and then somebody that was more his type was going to come in, and he was going to explore that because they're both open. They weren't closed off to each other, and so she's just going to open herself up to this opportunity, not opening up to his nasty vitriol that he had towards her. To me, it proves somebody that was only with Catherine for the optics and didn't actually like her. I really thought it was really rude. Really, really rude, and I wouldn't say that to somebody that like I was into, that I wanted to couple up with. How can you say that? So rude. Anyways, so then Mitch obviously recouples with Abby. No surprise there. Jess comes in, and she comes in alone, and she's like, you all right, Sammy? And she's like, oh, Molly, I'm happy for you. And like, Jess is like pretending to be cool with it, but she does see that Sammy is coupled up with Amber, and didn't, even if she was for like, I guess if he was forced to, they just wanted this no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he shouldn't have been forced to, because he should have just stuck by himself. Then if they wanted to have this whole like Jess and Sammy moment, you know what I mean, like getting
Yeah, it
together.
was. That's why I said when I saw the order, I was like, "Oh, okay. So yeah, Katie didn't bring back Ruzy." I said because I swore that the Jess and Mitch would be at the middle because it made more sense. Mitch and Jess have nothing, but Jess and Sammy have something. So her walking in single and seeing he just coupled up with Amber would have been good right there. But then they put it that, and at that point, I did not care. Like, Jess, please move on. Like, move
Please,
on.
please, he's always gonna find somebody, even if he doesn't want to.
And she said that, and she said that before the recoupling. Like, I, I don't know.
So I have to think at this point he just stayed single to prove a point. I think so
Yeah.
is with well, actually, no, with Scott.
Oh,
Um,
that's what I said. I said that I'm because the way he was talking to Gabby, and I know somebody else said that like she doesn't think it was that. It felt like so. Did you just like stay single to prove a point, and who was the point to be proven to? And then it kind of goes back to what Catherine said. Maybe you do care what everybody else has to say. I'm not saying he doesn't like her. I actually think he did like her, but I'm just
you
saying
don't come like that
no.
to somebody that you like, though. I'm
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like, I know. I mean, they're young. Okay, I can remember they're 22.
yeah.
But if I was on this show and I know what happens,
Hmm.
and like he already had rational thoughts about how she could be perceiving things, where
Hmm.
she'd be like, maybe she's might take some of these comments to her head, and we weren't close, like maybe she is going to find someone or be open to finding you know what I mean, like he
Hmm.
said all these things.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering why he had to switch and have so much nastiness towards her when she did what you wouldn't wasn't weren't surprised that she was going to do.
Right. And you did not close things off before y'all went into CASA AMOR. I don't know. Like, my whole thing is you have that much upsetness if you guys just closed everything off. Like, you didn't. You didn't. There was no exclusivity. That's like, okay, we're gonna have a conversation because obviously we were in two different places then because I'm here single and she's back with somebody. That's it.
So Rachel does wish that Catherine did let Scott bait her, which she could have said something like, "I don't think either one of us were inauthentic. We were open. I found a good connection, but we can talk about it later." I
Yeah,
mean,
but that's not Catherine. And I kept saying that before I said everybody, all the stuff people keep trying to attribute to Whitney. She, and Whitney's that person. Whitney would have said it just like that to him, and Catherine's going to give him all the vim back.
yeah, she's emotional. She's
Yeah,
Cancer.
yeah.
Dreadful Ruby says that Catherine's response, if it were reversed, would have pissed me off. So it would have pissed you off if Catherine says like, "I found a connection," and I decided to explore it because I didn't know for sure where we were. I don't know.
Or the one, or I'm wondering if she's talking about the one right after what Scott said. Because she said something about, no, it was you or something like that.
Oh, okay. I don't remember specifically. Jessica says, I see it completely different with Scott. He was embarrassed. Yes, he thought it could happen, but seeing it will hit you differently. Have we ever seen anybody not have an attitude? Andrew, Jamie, Shaq. Absolutely, but he had hate in his eyes. His eyes said hate to me.
I would agree with you, Jessica, except for the part where he was like, "This was make or break," and I didn't understand. Again, I can't. I feel like I missed something because it was like a couple days ago. He understood it, and then it was like at the top of the show. It was like make or break all of a sudden. You decide to stay single, knowing it's possible she could bring somebody back, that they were going to send in somebody could possibly be her type, and in your head this was make or break. when y'all
Right.
weren't closed off, when y'all were still single?
That's what I'm
How?
saying. Like he was doing it because he wanted to have a reason to break it off. That he doesn't have to play like into how much he likes her and defend this relationship because maybe
Yeah.
he knows deep down that he wasn't being fully authentic. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, it's just like Matt with Kaz when he's sitting there and behind our backs, we don't know. He's telling Kaz that they have nothing serious, and then mad at her because she starts entertaining what's it call it again, and it's like, but you're like you didn't show me that what we had could move past this. So what do you expect me to do? And then people are mad at her because she's not fully turning her head into this guy who everybody thinks is so good for her because he didn't choose somebody else.
No, I don't think that's the case at all. Um. So wait, no. So Charnice is saying if I would have snapped back at him if I was Kat, I don't care. You're not going to disrespect me because your feeling got hurt. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Absolutely not. I thought he was rude. But Dreadful Rudy here says if she was standing there alone and he had recoupled and she were to be hurt, she wouldn't have said that though. She wouldn't have. She wouldn't have said to him, "Oh, I guess those comments about you have said they're true." Like I don't think she would have said that. Anyway, then it's a different dynamic completely because he's white. And say something like he did, I wouldn't have thought twice if he responded how she did. I'm not sure I understand, but I don't think that Scott is as into her as we were giving credit for before this recoupling. I was hopeful, but now maybe Catherine was seeing something that we didn't see, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
maybe
think at this point, maybe we missed something, so we missed something, and it is what it is. And if she gets dumped, she gets dumped. But I think then at that point, maybe there was always a possibility of her getting dumped, and I'm not mad
like
at
it
her.
seems like Scott knew for sure that she was going to couple up with somebody, so that's why he stood there single, so that he could be nasty for this woman. That's how it feels to me. It seems calculated because,
I
like,
need him to prove differently, which to me, proving differently is like, okay, I'm sorry, I lost my head. I I want you to understand why I was so upset. Is because I was really into you, and I thought we felt the same way, but maybe there was some miscommunication here. Um, do you still even want to get to know me? Like, are we done? Like, there has to be a conversation before you go starting bullshit. Sorry.
mm-hmm. So Tyreek, of course, decides to stick with Ella. We knew this was
Another
coming.
performative one.
Yeah. And so, it's for someone that doesn't want to be like Ty. Scott is acting exactly like Tyreek is.
Hilarious. So maybe Ty was right. Maybe he did see what he saw in him
And I could see that Scott isn't into Catherine, maybe, and maybe it was truth, and that's why he needed to come so hard to go and defend himself. Doth protest too much, is what I said. And
Mm-hmm.
now the fact that this test that Catherine didn't know that she was participating in, that he now won this test because he stood there alone, but he knew that she was going to most likely pick someone because he hasn't given her what she needed to feel like she was in a secure spot, which is also what Ty did. Yeah, they might be closed off, but he also the day before said that he still misses the game. So, anyways. So Ella, I knew she was gonna walk in with Uzi, and like I did feel bad for Ty though, because
Oh, I
like he's
felt
so
nothing.
I know, but he's just so prideful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was feeling bad for Ella because I know Ella is going to be hurting for the fact that she knows she's hurting Ty to a certain extent. And the guys, do you know how pissed the guys look? The guys look so nasty and angry at Ella that also pissed me off.
Mm-hmm. Because
And just like,
they just knew there was they kept saying no, she's never gonna do that. There's no possible way. They just knew she was supposed to take all his bullshit from the last 4 weeks
yeah,
and never take it in to do anything else.
yeah, for herself.
Yep.
She just gets to be beaten up by this guy emotionally And then when she has somebody that's treating her nicely, like everybody else can be mad at her for not like, oh, well, you didn't see that he's like been like really good over here. And it's like, well, you know what? Like you said, he didn't show me to my face this side of him.
Yep.
Maybe I'll see it in movie night. Maybe I'll see it when we're outside of the villa. Maybe it's too late, but it's too little too late, Ty. If you really, 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 really wanted her to stay single, she would have stayed single if you made it really clear that she was the one.
Yeah. I love what she said. She's like, well, how was I supposed to know? I thought you had missed the game.
Exactly. And so the girls not picked were there standing. So Tink, Danielle, and is that it? Is there someone else that wasn't picked?
Tink, Danielle,
Gabby,
who I also liked. It was just also confusing.
So they were not picked.
Tink and Gabby could have gotten the villa, and I would have been just okay. I'm so confused.
And so then they bring out the boys that were not picked, and that was Cody and
Ben
and Zachary. So they all say their goodbyes, and Ty is fucking fuming, and he storms off, and the OG boys run over and follow Ty. And this is why I don't do feelings. This is why I don't do feelings. And it's like, Ty, you're a performative. This is a show. This is theater. And so Ella tries to go up to him. Can we speak? No. He gets up and walks away. And then they're talking with Scott. Scott was talking with Katie, and I'm not sure who else was there. And Scott's just like, there's no way back from this, Katie. Like, I'm like so angry. Like the anger in his eyes and Ty's eyes was not. It seemed calculated to me, and it seemed nasty for people that are so in love. The eyes to me didn't say love. They said performative. They said they didn't feel authentic to me with how I would feel or see or recognize. I don't recognize pain in their eyes. I recognize humiliation potentially and anger for the fact that they look like a mug in their eyes.
Yeah. Again, it is okay. The amount of times Ty went after Catherine to tell her she was nothing, that every guy didn't like her, that nobody was choosing her of their own volition. They just was choosing her to win. She was supposed to eat it and take it. Every single time Ty said to Ella, listen, I'm choosing you because I want to right now. But if somebody comes in, I might not choose you tomorrow. Exactly. I might not choose you tomorrow. And so she was supposed to eat that as well. So I am confused at why people feel sorry. I can maybe give them feeling sorry for Scott, but not even really, because if he really cared about her, he should have closed things off. But I can maybe feeling sorry for Scott, but not for Ty. Ty deserves everything he's getting. It is called karma, and it's spelled ha 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 ha.
Karma, and his name is Uzi.
Period.
As Sarah Destiny calls him, Bobby Pins. Yeah, well, TA is saying Scott and Ty were like, how dare you them embarrass us? Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's like, that's why I'm just like, I don't fully believe them. I feel like they're being too performative for it to be real love. I think they were embarrassed more than they were hurt. I did feel bad in the moment for Ty. Like, I know, like you said, you don't feel with karma, and I get it. I totally get it. But like, I think he was playing the game, and he was hoping as well that she wasn't going to make him have to go through this, right? I think he was playing like, oh, I've had this growth, and then there's no way that she's gonna come back with anybody. I'm Ty, and then they'd come together and there'd be this amazing winning couple, and then he'll go and ask her to be his girlfriend, and you know what I mean?
And
Like,
jump
he
after
had
the
it all
bus.
planned out as how he thought it was going to go, and she flipped the script on him, and
Yeah,
he was vexed because he now doesn't look like cool.
yeah. And I kind of hope that she doesn't go back to him because I just don't. I mean, if she wants something outside the villa, I just don't see it with Ty. I more see it with Uzi, but I could be wrong.
I see it more with Uzi too, but I don't know if she's going to be able to do that in the villa. I think that she
Yeah,
will. Because I don't think that Ty is going to easily allow himself to be dumped, right?
yeah,
So I think that he's going to come back to Ella and
the pressure.
it's going to put it on her. So, obviously Ella's really upset about what this, and she's like, she feels bad that she's hurt Ty. And I was crying a little bit for Ella because I know that she was doing something that she needed to do for herself, but she
Yeah,
didn't really want this full reaction. I think that she was slightly surprised that he didn't find somebody just to move on with for the time being, and then kind of like how both India and Dami both moved
hmm,
on, but then they came back to each other. You know what I mean? So I think she kind of thought it was going to be something like that,
hmm.
and that she'd have some more time to get to know Uzi and see what's going on with her. You know what I mean? I think that she just thought she was going to have more time, and then she sees him like kicking off like that. And so they do say to her, though, like, you're going to have to work now if you want to have him back. Like, you're going to have to be the one grafting. And
That's why I don't want to do it.
she might not, maybe the
Yeah,
producers will just give her a date with Uzi.
yeah. That's why I don't want her to do it. I just don't feel like she was necessarily wrong.
Yeah, what was the comment that he made? Hold on, I don't think I wrote it down because I thought I'd remember it.
Oh, it was at the top. It was somebody said it that I had her, but it was just my turn.
Yeah,
Somebody did say it.
rude. Oh, it
Uh,
was rude. I'm gonna find it. Hold on. I
yeah.
think I started. Where
Oh
are?
yeah, yeah. Rachel said it at 8:14. You
Oh, this one.
started. Yeah.
Um. Yeah. So Rachel says I didn't like Ty's comment that she was never mine. It was just my turn. That's so rude. The audacity coming from a man with 100+. Yes, absolutely. He needs to be serious. Absolutely. I thought it was so rude.
It
Basically
was
calling her a whore for the
yeah,
fact that she was entertaining another person at Casa Amor
yeah. It was just so much
when you've been treating her like
misogyny.
garbage
Right.
for a month.
It was just so misogynistic.
So
It was,
annoying. So Dina says I may be in the minority here, but I do think Ty likes Ella. He just enjoys the game more than and wants to win.
yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I haven't said that I don't think he likes her. I just think he's a game player. I
Yeah,
think he likes her. I personally think he came in there not thinking he would ever find an Ella.
that's true. And that he would just be able to bounce around and
What Toby? If Toby, his bestie, told Ella to bring Uzi back, I want you guys to understand where we were at.
yeah. Definitely can tell that Ty never got this embarrassed by a girl before.
Oh,
Absolutely. So his ego, he's a Aries,
Aries?
and Aries ego getting like, ugh,
I told
by
you
a
guys
woman.
that's why I don't date Aries because they try to control me and I'm not controllable and I will embarrass the shit out of you.
When you
So
guys are the same dynamic, right? You and
yeah,
Ella
Taurus
and
and
him.
Aries, I will embarrass the crap out of you and because I am petty and she wasn't even being petty. That's the thing.
Yeah,
She
she was
really was
being.
just conflicted.
Yeah. Okay, so Fernando is scared for the next public vote. The producers are definitely going to protect certain couples.
Yeah.
I know.
Listen, the black girls had a good run. I think of all three of them, I think Whitney still has a chance here. Um, they're gonna dump Catherine. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, there she. Well, unless like Scott puts it on real thick, and he apologizes for
Mhm.
being rude, and she apologizes for thinking that he whatever.
Mhm.
there is a potential that they could rekindle. It is a
Or
possibility because
Elm's a Charlie.
there's nobody else that's going to be going into him though.
I mean, yeah. I don't think who Charlie ended up with was into him either. But again, like,
But they got votes. They stuck around. It was
yeah.
that girl,
Well,
the blonde girl, right?
yeah, but they were. Yeah, anyway, move on to the
So
Betty
Rachel
White
felt bad for
shit.
Ella, but it's best that Chancey's with Ty now because he was going to make her miserable post show for sure. She should give Uzi a chance.
I
I
really
think
do.
I think that she's definitely going to have a better relationship with Uzi. I think that Ty is not going to allow their storyline to be done this quickly because that would most likely mean that he'll be dumped. And I
Mhm,
don't think that he wants that to happen. Same with Scott. I don't think that he wants to be dumped. So I think that he's
mhm,
going to do what it takes to create the storyline and come back with Catherine. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think that Uzi will end up getting dumped, but I could see a
mhm.
rekindlings after
That's
the show.
Gorilla. Yeah. Um. Yeah.
So that's what I think. Well,
Um,
we get it. We tried to do it in 2 hour or an hour and a half. We did it in two and a
Too
half
much to
hours.
talk about. Oh my god, sucks.
But we got
But
through it. I'm proud of us.
yes, that's true. 4 episodes, and listen, I want to say this about the show because somebody said Tarika's over these people. It's not that I'm over the people. I really do think this was probably one of the best seasons I've watched of the UK version.
The best season for sure.
But
Right now.
it's like you can start seeing when the producers start stirring the pot and needling and meddling, and it's like, don't do this. Like sending bomb people. Let the fire get lit that way. Like, don't send Molly in. Send the Gabby in. Send the Tink in. See if Zach will go ahead and I think Zach would have done that anyway. I think he would have recoupled with somebody else anyway, because the only person he would have had to wait for is Whitney, and I don't think he was waiting for Whitney. But I could have seen him recoupling anyway because Katie was giving him nothing, and I think then if he had recoupled, then we would have gotten some vim from Katie.
Yeah, because
But
like she's gonna be like, oh well, it makes sense that he's with Molly right now because like I kind of interrupted whatever was going on. So if she's there, I kind of expect him to want to give that a try.
exactly, what they did to me, because would Ty have moved differently if Molly wasn't there? Would he have? I'm not saying, I still think he's playing a bit of a game, but I think he would have at least entertained somebody. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, I think we missed out on that. And then I feel like the boys were moving slower than they might have had. Maybe we would have gotten a Montel actually took Tink back, and it'd be a whole thing because he would have started 2 days later. I mean, 2 days earlier. This is why this was stupid.
Yeah, it ruined the dynamics of everything of people acting normally because now they're like, ooh, we have eyes on us. We have eyes on us. We have someone watching us that could tell the truth of what actually happened. And
Yep.
so the boy, maybe the producers wanted the guys to be good and they wanted the girls to look like
To
they were
move mad.
being.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Didn't work.
They made a bit of a fumble. It was still an okay recoupling because I think the reactions here were dramatic, and there will be a little bit of storyline from the aftermath of this recoupling. Do we care though about how Jess is going to react? No,
Don't
she
care.
just.
Don't care about Jess. Don't care about Sammy. Do not care about Leah and Montel.
You care about Molly and
And
Zach.
don't care about Molly and Zach.
Don't care about Katie.
I don't really care about Katie. Katie needs to bring something differently, and I don't mean going after Molly and Zach in order for me to care about her. So I'm into this Ellum, Catherine, Scott. Let's see what happens. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I'm into the Ella Ty Uzi because she is in a predicament,
Yeah.
and I want to see how far Whitney and Lockham can go for the rest of the season. Will
They'll
this
get to
be
the end, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, there's 3 storylines that I care about, but some of these other ones, unless you guys bring some different dynamics, I don't care. I'm tired of this Sammy Jess. It's not even a misconnection. It is not a connection. Please.
No, no. It's giving no connection.
No connection,
Giving no vibes.
not at all. And then you have him bring a girl to me that I'm like, there's not even a connection between him and her.
At all. I think it's so, but it's the fact that like if he brought back Gabby, he would have to be like she would be able to articulate better than Amber, right?
Yeah.
Like she's more mature, and so he wouldn't be able to manipulate the situation
Oh
as
yeah,
easily. So that's
yeah.
why he took. I think one of the reasons why he chose to bring back Amber.
Amber. Yeah.
So what is episode 31's hashtag? You ruined Casa.
Um.
Sorry, did you already do that? What did we do?
No, we didn't do that. Hashtag recoupling dud. Hashtag.
This is every chance Sammy gets to be with anybody but Jesse takes it. He doesn't like her.
Hashtag dump Zach and Molly.
Hashtag dump Zach and Molly, please.
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 I like literally Zach. Oh, we'll me and Katie have to have a conversation. I don't even care. I don't care about that conversation. I don't care about that conversation. That is sad. That is probably one of your main storylines. I really, literally don't care what they have to say to each other.
Even the plane ticket to fly her back and forth, like it was not worth the plane ticket. It was not worth the second plane ticket.
It wasn't. Even Chloe, from season 7 was like. She's like, Molly, this is BS. Like, why? Like, why are you back? Like, even the influencers are not happy with them bringing Molly back. Not, like, this did not pay off.
The girls say the recoupling. They did. I mean,
they did.
Thank goodness. Like, if they came back single, obviously, it would be a lot more boring.
Yeah.
So. It's definitely creating some drama. City girls are up. Mm-hmm.
City girls up. Our 3 city
Molly
girls
and
up.
Zach ate Tyler and Malia.
Who's that?
Tyler and Malia. Is that in France?
No, because France was Sydney and Edgar, and I think that's what they were trying to go for. But you got to actually have chemistry in order for that to pan out.
Tyler.
Or that's it. Australia, was that Australia?
Oh
God,
I don't remember. Dan, remind us. Yeah, I'm a city girl, so I'm rooting for the city girls for sure. From season. Oh, when Mullen came back. Mullen, you mean? Mullen. Not. Who's Tyler? Hold on. Tyler. Terry. Okay, Terry and Mullen. Okay. It's like I'm like I have no idea who you're talking about.
I didn't watch season 2.
So Terry, remember, was the guy with the tattoos. He was with Mullen. A girl came in that sent Mullen home, and Mullen came back and had the conversation with Terry, as if someone was asking him on a date, but it was like Mullen. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, that was a pretty intense conversation. But it was definitely not whatever.
She wasn't a Molly. She actually had something there, and that's the same thing. And I think they tried to do this similar because they did the same thing in France as well, where they dumped Cindy, and she went out and came back in. But again, her and Edgar had a huge connection. And 2, she was Cynthia. Like, if you watch how this girl moved in the villa, she was the it girl in the villa. That is how they went to run the game. Like, that's what I kept trying to explain to people. Molly doesn't have it. It would be different if she had it. Like, if this was Whitney and this happened, we know that this would have been fire. But that's not, and even with Whitney's calm demeanor, Molly does not have it to carry this storyline. Period.
Yeah, no, boring. Boring. Well, thank you, Tamika, for enduring these last 2 hours and 43 minutes as we talk about. It's still a really good season. Pretty boring Casa Amor comparatively. Definitely, the girls did save the recoupling for choosing, choosing problems. But thank you for like choosing yourselves and deciding to do something for yourself, because it did save this recoupling. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Um, thank God Casa Amor is over. I don't know who is going to win the season, but please
It's
follow the
Molly and Zach.
hashtag. Please follow. Listen, somebody else said that to me. It's like I was like, listen, don't put that in the air. And I did the air freshener me like.
I didn't even finish. I didn't even write her name. Dump Zach and please. I didn't even write it properly, but you know what I meant.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I just
Oh no,
I
I'm gonna put Dump Zolly, please.
yeah. Dump Zolly, please. Like that needs to be the agenda is to dump Zolly, please, please. That's the agenda. Dump them both at the same time this time, so that they can't do this to us again. Because what is the reason? What was the reason?
Dump Zolly, please.
Yeah,
Let's get this trending.
yes. Otherwise, season is still seasoning. I just need them to turn the pepper up and dump Molly and Zach.
Please, dump Zolly, please. Dump Zolly, please. Zolly, please. Well, thanks again, Tamika. Thank you, everybody here in the chat. You guys are awesome. You guys are always supportive. You're always here, no matter what. So we much appreciate you. Likely we'll be back on Friday to do the next 2 episodes, and we will be going live on Tamika's channel probably tomorrow, I think, to do this week's Bachelorette. Having the 4th of July kind of creep in there, and I had to fly, it kind of messed things up a little bit. And so I'm thinking that Friday might be when I don't know. We have to figure it out. We're going to have to figure it out. All right, so we will talk to you, everybody, soon. Thank you, TA. Thanks, ladies. Love the recaps. Y'all are the best. Thank you for being here. Dan is with us on the Dump Zolly, please. Dump Zolly, please. Please also just make sure that you subscribe to both of our channels. Me over here at Reality Realness with 3 S's, and over at Entertainment in Color on YouTube. Like this video and just add in the hashtag Dump Zolly, please. Dump Zolly, please. Dump Zolly,